Hotep, Hotep, peace and love. Y'all brothers hear me?
Yes, sir. Hotep.
Hotep, peace and love. Welcome everybody to the Teachings of Ma'at Study Guide Sundays. Today's topic, White Fiends, Black Devils, Protection from the Sebau Fiends. Before I introduce our beautiful panel, we'll start it off like we do every week with our beautiful affirmation. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Unki en Ma'at, un NS, Nintet Aset en Ma'at, Men Hepapet en Ma'at, Her in Huey, Per Ikut. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Peace and love, everybody. I am Arcad Infinite. Welcome to our beautiful study guide. I am the chairman of the organization, the Techetu. I am a master student of the great Tahuti Amenhotep Ra. I'm the host of this weekly study guide, Teachings of Ma'at, a true-hearted follower of truth based on ancestral artifacts and a love of my people unconditionally, and dedicated to Kemet and learning the metal netter, and loyal to Ma'at at all times. Excuse me. Next we have the Scribe. Lamar the Scribe Owens is a poet, spoken word artist, audio producer, and engineer, healer, spiritual advisor, consultant, and business creator. He is a master student of the Natiru, a true follower and protector of Ma'at, a scribe of Tahuti and Ma'at. He studies under the master teacher Saba Tahuti Amenhotep Ra. For the scribe, quality always outweighs quantity. He enjoys observing reality and incorporating these observations into his writings and creations to assist in awakening dormant DNA and reversing negative hypnosis. And our presenter for the night is the General, the great Ahati Maat, was taught under the great Tahuti Amenhotep Ra. He has been a serious student and teacher of Kemetic culture and history for several years. He has written multiple books, including the textbook called Journey of Your Soul series, essays, and articles. Furthermore, he hosts in-person and online classes, weekly podcasts, and periodically creates documentaries. He also has experience in public speaking and academic debating. He is responsible for the creation of this weekly study guide, Teachings of Ma'at. Welcome, everybody. Peace and love. Good brother Scribe, Ahati, welcome.
Peace and love. Hotep, brother. Do you have anything you want to share with the chat?
Welcome. I just want to welcome everybody to the chat. I want to welcome everybody to the study tonight. We're gonna have a beautiful, a beautiful breakdown. I'm always looking forward to your teachings, Ahati. Very motivation. Keep motivating me. Shout out to Rebel Minded in the chat. Shout out to Anu. Shout out to everybody in the
Members are
chat.
in the building,
That's
representing
right.
and supporting.
Menku Ara. Shout out to you, my brother. Hotep Ma'at.
All right,
Shout out.
Arcad, are you ready for some hailing? I
I'm
was about to
ready.
say I'm gonna wait for Scribe, but here he is.
Peace.
He appeared like the netter in the middle of the night. All right, brothers, we are gonna set the energy high. We're gonna do some hailing, and then before I start the presentation, we're gonna listen to some good music. I already checked for copyright, so we should be okay. Should be. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Share the screen here. Window. Let me see something here real quick. What is this? Let's see. Right here. Okay, that's the newsletter.
That's Sharon, yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, what we do here, if you're not familiar with the teachings of Ma'at, today you will be. We appreciate those of you that are here now. We appreciate those that will be here in the future. And those that are new, we appreciate you. And those that are desperate, homeless, drug addicts, Crips blood, whatever. We appreciate that you're listening to my voice right now. So what we do, we set a precedent here. We're setting something that's not new, but we're rebirthing it. We're resurrecting the encouragement process that our people gave to one another daily throughout the day. It wasn't a one-time thing. It wasn't an annual thing. It happened daily. And what they did was they started hailing. No, hailing did not start with the NSDAP or Hitler. Hailing started with Osiris, known as Osiris Min. So we're going to start with hailing. Here we go. So I'm going to read the blue line, and then the red line is the translation. E neb ma'at per em ma'ati. Hail ma'at is everything. We come forth from her. Henu saba tahuti
Hey,
amenhotep ra.
Ahati. I don't mean to stop you, but the newsletter is showing, not the
Oh, it is. Thank you.
yes,
Thank you for stopping me.
yes.
Let me see if I can. Hold on a second here. Stop sharing. Let me get out of here. Let me try something here. Let me see if you can see it now.
Peace and love to all the great brothers and sisters in the chat. The chat is lit up like fire. I love it. Peace and love to all you great beings.
Okay, let me see if this works. I don't know why it's showing it weird now. Chrome tab. All right, let me see if this works, Scribe. Is it sharing?
Yes, it's showing your full screen.
Can you see the affirmation?
No, we can't see the affirmation.
Let's try something here. I don't know what's going on here.
Matrix been hard at work, man.
It is. It
Been
is.
hard at work this week.
Entire screen, maybe. Share system audio. Share. All right, is it sharing?
It's showing your full screen
Yeah.
again, but it's not. We don't see the affirmation.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Now, where's my affirmation? It's gone. Hold on, everybody. We'll get it. I'll get it together soon enough. Hold on. Do
The
not
magic is happening.
go over to. Hold on. Can you
There
see
we
it
go.
now?
Yes, we see it now.
There we
There
go.
we go. Okay. Let's start from the top. E neb ma'at per em ma'ati. Hail ma'at is everything. We come forth from her. Henu Saba Tahuti Amenhotep Ra. Hail Saba Tahuti. Henu Kemet. Hail Kemet. Makaru, Makaru, Makaru. Victory, victory, victory. That is our victory voice. So you can find this at the website. Scribe will go over that at the end of this presentation when we come to a break before we bring people up on the panel. And you can go over there, download it for free, and utilize it for yourself. Okay. So let's get into it. But
Great
before I
brother
get
Ahati.
into it, yeah, go ahead.
Hey, before you start your presentation, I'd like to show the donations that we got before the class started to acknowledge those people.
That would be
You don't-
perfect, brother.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, of course, we always love to show our appreciation and gratitude to all the great supporters of the TOM. And so we'll start with this sister here. Angela Gates, shout out to you. Miss Angela Gates, Queen Before You. Says $15 for Scribe's awesome class. So thank you, good sister, for your support. And then next we have the great Menku Ara, Mary Maat. He sends $27.72 for Scribe's teaching last Sunday. Tua. Tua to you, my good brother. We were definitely on the exact same frequency in the pod class. We both sent in $27.72 to Saba at the same exact minute. That was pretty magical. So shout out to you, my good brother. And then, of course, we can't forget the most consistent donator on YouTube, the great brother Nito Campbell.
Shout out to
Sends
that,
in
brother.
$5. Yeah, $5. Peace, everyone. Hotep. Hotep, good brother. Peace and love to you. All right, great brother Ahati, you can pick it back up. We are ready. You're muted.
All right. So I'm going to make people uncomfortable tonight. Not too uncomfortable, but a little uncomfortable. Before I make you, well, I'm not going to make you feel good. The person that's going to be, that you know that I'm going to put on the screen is going to make you feel good. But I just want to get an idea of who is who can connect to this teaching the most. I guess is what I'm going to say. So I want to ask everybody that's here in the chat, give me a one. Give me a one if you're okay, and this excludes people that are Tamahus or Caucasians. So no Caucasians will be voting, and I'm not. I don't hate. I don't. I don't want to get into that. Just no Caucasians are going to be voting. So this is going out to people that have some sort of, I guess you could say, quote unquote, mixture in them, which is also not a good term, but I'm just using it because everybody knows it. Or we'll call them biracial, you're included. And then, of course, what's being called misnomered black people. So I want to know in the room if you have a Tamahu mate, girlfriend, lover, uh, best friend, bestie, whatever you want to call it, press a 1. And be honest, because this is an honest program. Press a 1. If you don't have a Tamahu mate, press a 2. So if you have a Tamahu mate, girlfriend, lover, something you're going to see tonight and then never see again, press a 1. And if you don't have one of those and you have somebody that's what's being called biracial, black, brown, whatever, Mexican, Haitian, Jamaican, Indonesian, whatever, press a 2. And I just want to see where you're at. I'm not judging you. We're not going to condemn you. We're not going to we're not going to make videos about you. We're not going to do any of that. I just want to see where the people are coming from because I was there too at one time. Nice. So I'm seeing 2s. Good. Cash Peden got the 1 on blast. Thank you for your honesty, Cash Peden. Thank you for your honesty. Menkura is single. Menkura is single. I don't know if he's looking for a mate, but we may have to start something called the dating game. Not dating, because I don't like it. See how it is in this matrix? Menkura, that's all right. It's a great time to get to know yourself. Ja Rashid, peace to you, good brother. Ja Rashid, do you have a mate? Do you have a mate that's a Tamahu, Ja Rashid? Ja Rashid, do you have a mate that's a Tamahu? Okay, so Menkura says he's looking for a mate. That's great. That's great. That's great. Ja Rashid. Okay, so I was looking at least for one honest person in the room. Not saying everybody else is dishonest, including the guys on the panel. I'm not. I just want to see where your honesty was, because again, I'll reiterate, I was there too. No, I've never been with a Tom Ho. Okay, well, I've been with Tom Ho's. That shouldn't be surprising. I've been with Tom Ho's before when I was in the Matrix. So hopefully, this teaching is for those of you that want to fully break out of the Matrix. Part of that is being with your people. It has nothing to do with our feelings. It has to do with preserving our children's mindset. And I'm going to show that tonight. Okay, so when we say we're for the children, we're not playing around. But first, there's other parts of the Matrix to break out of too. Let me see if I can share this again. Arcad, let me know if you can. No, that didn't work.
Something coming on. Nope.
That didn't work. I don't know why it's doing that now. Let's see here. Share screen. Select tab preview. Let me see if this works. Entire screen. Share system audio. Can you see that, Arcad?
Yeah, it's coming, but it's your full screen.
Okay, good. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into a little. Who is this? Who is this?
Okay.
Can you see the
You
screen?
can see it. Yeah, KRS-One.
Nice. Listen to the music. Listen to what he says.
Listen to this rhyme, they taking your time. It's like you in prison when you don't use your mind. Rise up and shine, they taking your time. It's like you in prison when you don't use your mind. 11 million people unemployed and I'm one of them. I grew up with the rats and roaches, I had fun with them. Fly sneaks and fine clothes, I had none of them. But when it came to MC rhymes, I had a ton of them. People told me, go get a job, I would run from them. I saw the workforce and work was no fun for them. No beach, no mountain and no sun for them. With slave driving bosses, why would I come under them? So at 7 a.m. you wake up from sleep. At 7 a.m. I wake up and take a leak. At 7:05 you got slippers on your feet. At 7:07 I'm going right back to sleep. At 7:15 you thinking about today's meeting. At 7:30 a.m. my friend I'm still sleeping. At 7:45 your phone starts beeping. Old text messages from yesterday's meeting. 8 a.m. you're leaving, it's freezing. You're feeling unworthy trying to get to work before 9:30. 9:45 I'm just turning over. 9:45 man you looking over your shoulder. Here comes the boss, looking for that folder. And you know within the folder you didn't meet your quota. Now 11 o'clock's up on ya. Your boss says, where's the folder? And you feel like you a goner. Well, you simply gotta make it up. But 11 o'clock, pops KRS just waking up. Linger in the bed to about 11:30. Spit a morning prayer, I hope heaven heard me. Stand up at about 12 o'clock, you on your lunch break. I'm just eating breakfast, vegetarian cupcakes. 1 o'clock, you back at your desk, back at the office, back at the stress, your desk is a mess. Listen to this rhyme, they taking your time. It's like you in prison when you don't use your mind. Rise up and shine, they're taking your time. It's like you in prison when you don't use your mind. You doing your best, but your best ain't enough. You wanna do less, but less makes it rough. It's 101 in the public and private sector. Either way, I'm giving a conference at 4 p.m. a lecture. Topic, while I check my other appointments, is hip-hop as a culture and lifetime employment. See, back in the days to avoid getting jerked, we was told to go to college in case rap didn't work. Now today, not to be so hurt, you better know how to rap case your degree don't work. Man, you better get the lesson and stop stressing. MC and the DJ and a high-paying profession. Front if you need to. Don't let them deceive you. You ain't gotta believe me. It's time you believe you. Listen to this rhyme. They taking your time. It's like you in prison when you don't use your mind. Rise up and shine. They taking your time. It's like you in prison when you don't use your mind.
Okay. Thank you, KRS1. I hope to have you on the show one day. That will happen. Okay. So, that's just the beginning. So, we're going to get started now. We're going to get started now. Something happened with my computer. Not my computer, but with the StreamYard that I'm using. So bear with me. It's not operating the way that I'm used to.
That was a powerful opening, brother.
Yeah, I work. Karis want to be great on the team. You'd be great. You'd be a great supporter. He knows about this. Okay. Yes. Alright, let's get into it. So, I am Ahati Maat, Kezi Aha, scribe of Tahuti Amhotep Ra. Today's presentation is White Fiend, Black Devils, Protection Utterances Against Misfit. This is, we'll get into that in 1 minute. I had posted and I will continue to do it. We'll see how it goes. I made a posting on our YouTube channel, so go over there to check it out periodically during your week. So you can leave a comment. Very open and transparent here at the Teachers Mod. And I left a comment over there, and it's what's up, my odds? Another week teaching will be here soon. What would you like my odds to reveal to you next? Leave your answers below. So we got one from Anaha Paul, P name. Protection utterance against the fiends. So she just asked protection utterance against the fiends. Basic. Let's see what I'm going to give to her right now. So just go over to the community tab. It's a community tab on our YouTube. You'll find these comments and polls underneath there. So first, some etymology. How's the screen look, Arcad? Is it look clear? Is it big enough?
It's clear, but Big Vape said the music is overpowering the talking. Maybe turn the music down.
Okay, can you turn the music down or off, Scribe? I can't see the chat right now. Just let me know if they're putting ones. If it sounds okay, if I sound clear and okay and everything is good. So everybody give me a 1 if it's clear, if you can hear over the music.
Okay, Big Vape said that sound better. He giving a thumbs up. The ones are popping up.
Okay, thank you, Big Vapes. So first, some brother here is asking first some etymology, because over here we got to get to the root of the word. We just don't take conjecture opinions. So etymology on fiend. There'll be etymology on the devil, and there'll be etymology on utterance. Fiend, devil, and utterance. But before we get to part 1, let's get rid of a false narrative right now. So I'm going to come out of this because I can blow it up with the actual pictures. Okay. So let's do this. So there's a misconception here about a fiend. What's a fiend? I know when I was out there on the street hustling, a fiend was a crackhead, a dope head, a dope fiend, right? So not fiends according to the original meaning. So to the original meaning, which I'm gonna definitely show you, of course, this is not what a fiend is. A fiend is not this. It's not the dope fiend, you know, the guy with the needle in his arm. That's not a fiend. The girl smoking meth or chasing a dragon. That's not a fiend. Okay, smoking crack. That's not a fiend. These are not fiends. These are very, very sick, very hurt beings. They're not fiends though. Okay, I'm going to show you the real fiends so that the matrix can be broken. I'm going to show you real fiends because without the people that I'm going to show you, these people don't exist. Because in Kemet, this never existed. Because what would be called, quote unquote, the political force in Kemet did not condone any of this. It wasn't even a thought. So these people did not come up with this on their own. They're living in a matrix that they can't cope with. These are the fiends. The actual fiends, according to the original meanings. This is not my meaning for a fiend. This is who created the word fiend. This is this person's meaning. These are the actual fiends. Okay? The actual fiends. So this guy here, Brian, is appointed by Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, March 2022, the Homeland Security Advisory Council, HSAC, leverages the experience, expertise, and national and global connections of the HSAC membership to provide the Secretary real-time, real-world, and independent advice to support decision-making across the spectrum of homeland operations. So you would think, okay, this guy is some government guy in the U.S. government, right? He's just a regular Tomahoo in the U.S. government. Nope. What is Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan, a banking president of millions and millions of people's accounts or livelihoods, doing, working with Homeland Security and giving independent advice that has nothing to do with finances? You didn't hear me talk about anything about finances in that description there, but yet the head of Bank of America is working hand in hand with the government in the United States. If you're not in the United States, do not be fooled. It's in every government that has a banking system, has a central banking system in it. They're working hand in hand. Okay? Fiend. This is a fiend. Ronnie Abrams is a district judge. Ronnie Abrams, district judge in New York. Okay? This is her brother, Daniel Abrams. That's her brother, Daniel. Okay? He began his professional career in 1994 as a reporter for Court TV. Court TV, the television psyops, utilizing the government once again. He's paid by the government. Just because he's working for a TV company doesn't mean he's not hired by the government. Covering, among others, the O.J. Simpson murder trial. Okay? Show trial. He's an American media entrepreneur, television host, legal commenter. This guy has a lot of stuff he's done to use to control our minds, including Nightline, the famous Nightline program. Okay? And his sister is a district judge. This guy you probably know from the media. Probably seen him. This fiend. This is Alan Dershowitz, Alan Dershowitz, Epstein's lawyer, and frequent flyer to Little St. James Island. According to him, according to Alan, I kept my boxers on. Okay? These are fiends. These are the real fiends, not these people that can't affect your life in any way. It's these people that affect our lives right here. These are the fiends. Okay. Let's get back to the slideshow. Part 1. True fiends steal your soul. Etymology, metanetter, and more. So what's a fiend? A fiend, the Old English fiend, is an enemy. Fiend is an enemy. The Proto-Indo-European root for fiend is pay. Pay. It means to hurt. It also is the Avestan palm man. Avestan palm man. Name of a skin disease. Avestan palm man. Avestan palm man. Arcat, let me know if anybody has heard in the chat the skin disease called the Avestan palm man. If anybody's heard of the skin disease of Avestan palm man, please give me a 1. Because I did not hear of it prior to this.
No ones.
No ones. Okay, great. So the Avestan palm man skin disease. What is it? What is it? Who is most at risk? Is it Tamahus or whites or Tourette's Mray, blacks? Who is most at risk for getting the Avestan palm and skin disease? A couple of details about the disease's name, what it is, and who is most prevalent to have it. So the Avesta is the primary collection of religious texts of Zoroastrianism composed in the Avestan language. The various text collections that today constitute the canon of Zoroastrian scripture, some of you have heard of Zoroastrian scripture, are the result of a coalition that occurred in the 4th century, probably during the reign of Shapur II, from 309 to 379 AD. Avestan means sacred books of Parsi, from the word Zend, which has a Proto-Indo-European root to know. Okay, so this is from the Zoroastrian Sanitary Code by S.E. Dubash, LM&S, page 15. We see here in the highlights, it says the Pamin equals scabies. So we've heard of scabies. Should have heard of scabies before. Scabies. So that's what the Avestran Pamin disease is called, scabies today. Scabies. So what is scabies? Let's see. Scabies is a skin disease characterized by eruptions and inflammation. 14th century, 1400s. The itch, scabby skin, generally from Latin scabies, mange, itch, roughness, from scabre, to scratch, scrape, from the Proto-Indo-European root kept. Okay? Scabies. So it's some sort of something that makes your skin itch, like a rash. Now I know this article is from 1978, so I'm asking anybody out there, if you find something that contradicts this article that's relevant in today's day and time, or any time, I'll just put any time that contradicts this article, please let us know. You could drop a comment on our channel and I will address this the next time we have a show. I'll come out and say I was wrong and you were correct. So this is from August 1978, Scabies in Blacks by A. Paul Kelly, M.D. And this is just an abstract. And of course, I always say this, but it's true. I always keep the sources. If you want any of my sources, all you got to do is contact us at leadership@teachersofmaat.org. The abstract is to the editor. Scabies is a disease that I frequently see. So this is the doctor speaking. Scabies is a disease that I frequently see in the dermatology clinic at Martin Luther King Jr. General Hospital in Los Angeles. Yet in a clinic patient population that is over 60% black, I've never documented with microscopic identification of a mite parts, mite eggs, and or mite feces, a case of scabies in a black patient. Let me read that again. Yet in a clinic patient population that is over 60% black, I have never documented with microscopic identification of a mite parts, mite eggs, and or mite feces. The mite poopies are pooping into people's skin. A case of scabies in a black patient. Conversations with many black dermatologists in the United States, and now he's going nationwide. Conversations with many black dermatologists in the United States indicates that neither have they documented such cases. So over 60% of his population in his clinic of blacks that are blacks. So there's over 60% blacks in his particular clinic, so more than any other race. And he's never documented any case, or anybody that he's spoken to throughout the country has ever documented one case of blacks getting scabies. And I don't know anybody offhand either. And this would be what this, I know this is a cartoon, but it's just for effect, but it actually looks like this rash here, okay? That doesn't look like a dark melanated skin to me. And that looks like something I don't want to see even at this size on the screen. Pooping at me. Okay. Let's get into ISFET. Not a lot of people know that if you're getting into the MetaNetter for the first time and you're looking for the word ISFET, you probably won't find it. The reason is because you're looking for the I instead of the dotted A. This dot emphasizes either a long E or an I sound or a Y sound. So the A becomes a E, that type of sound. So now it becomes ISFET. But Budge spells it with an A. That's just a little jewel. So ISFET equals fault. See that? ISFET equals fault, which has an etymology or root word called fail. So when you look up the etymology of fault, the root word of a fault is fail. Unlike the popular interpretation, to fail does not only mean you did not accomplish a specific task, it also means to deceive. So to fail also means to deceive. It is the false narrative that runs constantly through the matrix mind. So you hear some people talk about negative minds, or even with their own minds, me too. Negative thought might come in, okay, and I might use failure because that's what I was taught here in the United States, that if you fail at something, that somehow your self-worth is supposed to go down or whatever. I haven't lived that way in such a long time. I don't even know how that feels or how to really explain that now, but this is what I remember being taught as a child and into my teens and early 20s that in 30s that to be some type, to fail or be some type of failure was something wrong. I'm telling you, it's not. And then we see down here isfetu, or isfet is also means evil men, criminals, and fiends. There's that word fiend again. So isfet is also a fiend. So to truly be a failure, we have to know we are deceived. So to truly be a failure, we have to know we are deceived. So you have to know you're being deceived. If you don't know you're being deceived, you're not a failure. And not take action. Oh, there's more. So not only do I have to know I'm not being deceived, if I'm just sitting around and doing nothing, even though now I have the truth, then I don't know what to say because I don't know how that feels. When I was being taught by the great Saba, I immediately started taking action after. So to truly be a failure, we have to know we are deceived and not take action. So you have to know you are being deceived, and if you're not doing anything after you have the knowledge, well, it's the same thing as to a magician's stage show. No one in the audience would ever believe they failed just because they enjoyed the enchanting performance. So people pay to be deceived at a magician show, and nobody feels worse for knowing that they're being deceived. They actually walk away feeling very good and excited and want to know how the trick was done and so on and so forth. Maybe get to talk to the magician who's not going to reveal the trick. But if I deceived you tonight, it would be something wrong in the subconscious. Why is that? Well, we're going to break all that tonight because it's all an illusion. How many times have we thought to ourselves that we're failures because we felt at the time the Matrix was real and not a stage illusion? The Matrix is an illusion that we perceive. Only we perceive it. No one else. I can't perceive it for you. Arcad, Scribe, no one else. Only you is perceiving your reality right now. That's it. All right. It's interesting. I like the synchronicity. When Saba gives his podcast, we don't speak on who's going to be presenting what, but yet we sync. And he spoke a little bit about the Tem and the Temahu. And we're going to get into that. This way of life right here with Hetaru, following Ma'at, came to an end for all of us. Came to an end for all of us. All of us. The Tem means to come to an end. That's one of the meanings. Okay? When the Tamahu solidified his control over our mouths, it came to an end, to shut the mouth. Because this brother here, this is a famous picture that's on Google or wherever, of the muzzled mouth brother. Before he had this muzzle on his face, he knew about Serapis. Let me say it again. Before he had the muzzle on his face, his conscious, the collective conscious of us, were already introduced to Serapis 2,000 years ago from the Ptolemies. Even though he may have not been consciously awake while this is going on, he's worshiping Islam or Voodoo or Shango. This remains. The information never goes away. It's always collectively stored. So he was already being handicapped by Serapis. Okay? And this is happening still today. A lot of us have this knowledge, and we still continue to shut our mouths. We don't even come on the panel. We're still hiding. It's going to hurt. I'm not up here to make friends or win feelings over. I'm here to help. Especially the children, your children. Okay. So budge spells, some of you may see me spell the Tamu with an A. It's because nobody knows the exact pronunciation of the sounds of these words. So the letters are interchangeable. If you want to learn more about that, I suggest you go over to Metal Netter Mondays with Saba and ask him, because I got so much to get through tonight. I don't have time. But one of the spellings for Tamahu, there's multiple spellings, is this. T-H-E-M-H-U. Tamahu. 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 Sometimes you might see Tenahu. But it's dealing with what the Tamahu now calls Libyans. Okay? So obviously Libyans physical Libyans, right? Gaddafi. Well, Gaddafi could be in the Tuat now, but when Gaddafi was alive, he wasn't in the Tuat. The Tuat is what? The Tuat is what's known as Lightland or the Photonic Realm. Okay? So Libyan, what's being called a Libyan tier, we're going to get more deep into this because it's not just a physical being, it's also what's being called, quote unquote, a spiritual being or energetic being. Okay? So the Tamu equals the Raibu, equals the Berbers, equals barbarians. Okay? So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So before the letter L, you can ask Saba about this. It was the R. And so originally it was Raibu. It wasn't Libu. It was Raibu because the R comes from Ra. So the Raibu, were an ancient Libyan tribe of Berber origin from which the name Libya derives, Libu and hieroglyphs. So the Comedians knew about the Raibu people. Here are the glyphs. Ramosis, or Ramses II, here is an actual one depiction of a Raibu. Okay. An Egyptian statuette representing a Raibu, Berber, reign of Ramosis II, 19th dynasty, 1279 to 1213 BCE, Louvre Museum, Paris. So now we have a physical representation, artifact, as you could say, of these Raibu people. Because I get sometimes people say, oh, Tamu doesn't mean the Caucasians. We're going to get to that. Okay, so we heard Berber a lot. Let's get over to the Berbers briefly. This isn't a lesson in Berbers, but I will briefly mention them. So the term Berber originates from the Greek barbaros, meaning barbarian. So even the Greeks were around prior to these Berber people that were calling them, they weren't around prior, but the term barbaros and barbarian created by the Greeks after encountering these people that are being called Berber today. So barbarian is a human who is perceived to be either uncivilized or primitive. The designation is usually applied as a generalization based on a popular stereotype. Barbarians can be members of any nation, judged by some to be less civilized, orderly, but may also blah, blah, blah. Remember, this is according to the Greeks. The barbarian, this is the English version created in the 1400s, means foreign, of or pertaining to savages, rude, uncivilized. A non-Roman or non-Greek. A non-Greek person, non-Christian person speaking a language different from one's own. Strange. Unintelligible speech of foreigners. Greek barbarai meant all that are not Greek. Now we have to remember the Greeks took virtually all of the knowledge out of Kemet from the people that were there prior to the Greeks. So to the Nile Valley people, this is how they looked at the foreigners with a foreign mindset. It was strange to them. It was unintelligible. It wasn't refined. Okay? There's a difference between us on the panel and Pookie that's out on Crenshaw tonight at 2 a.m. looking for crack rocks. There's a drastic difference. At least you should see a drastic difference. Okay? No different back in the times when the Nile Valley was thriving. So the ancient Raibu were not the Tamahu we see today. Let me say it again. The ancient Raibu were not the Tamahu we see today. Ramosis never saw a white creature called a Caucasian in his lifetime. Okay? So the brother never met the Ptolemies ever, or anybody that looked like him. These were brown-skinned foreigners who were the ancestors of today's Persians, Arabs, etc. And I almost forgot. The Moors. the Tamahu is a foreign mindset. Because remember, we're just in these physical bodies, but our minds we can't see. So they can manifest in anybody. It represents an energy manifested through people that go against the laws of Ma'at. This was a foreigner to the ancestors. Okay? So back to Fiend, and we see enemy again. Fiend means enemy. We do the etymology of arch enemy. A lot of you have heard this term arch enemy, maybe from superhero or comics or Marvel. Arch enemy, the chief enemy, originally especially Satan. This is from 1540s. Originally especially Satan. Satan is an arch enemy. She gives birth to Satan over and over and over again. See the horns? The red horns? In Kemet, there was always a dual aspect. So let's get into the Sebau Fiend, the arch enemy of Ra. This is the thing from the Who. He's the head of the Who, or at least he was in recent years. This thing over here, you can see she's all snuggled up with the Sebau Fiend, which makes her a fiend. See? These are fiends. Just because they don't look like him, if we were to crack this open and be able to see tangible thoughts, I bet that her thoughts for him are a lot better than her thoughts for me. Conservative, Trumplican, wife, a whiff, a mother, and child of the Most High God, retweeted by President Trump. She has almost a 500,000 followers. A lot of them, what we would call Tamahus today. So first, let's break down what the negative aspect to Asaba is. This will protect all of us from opening that door in the future. So we see the Seba, or Sebi, which is enemy, demon, devil. See, so now the Sebi, or the Seba, or the Sebau, the devil, enemy, demon, these are all coming from the Seba. They're all coming from this word in the Medu Netter. Okay? So they're interchangeable. They're mindsets. Pay attention to this glyph here, because we'll get back to it soon. Let's look at a few examples of enemies, people who hate us, demons, evil spirited people, and what some call the Black Devil. I'm not the first to coin this term. I know there was many prior to me, and one sticks out of my mind. Pops, my teacher's teacher. So much appreciated for doing that teaching way back in the day that I caught. Appreciate that. Hope you are okay. So remember this glyph here. It will become relevant in a few minutes. Okay. I'm not going to say where we're going. We're just going to go. Because I don't know if Chat GPT is listening. So we're just going to go there. And you get to witness my site. So if you haven't been over here to this site here, you can get there from the website. If you have questions, just shoot us one there. This here, you'll find everything that you can think of just about. Okay? Just going to watch a short part of this video here.
The situation over in Ohio is beginning to heat up. with the water supply becoming one of the main issues. You see, earlier this week, the residents of East Palestine were told by the Ohio EPA that not only was everything fine, but that also the local water was safe to drink. They allegedly made that determination after testing the water in several different wells that feed into the town's municipal water system. But the local residents of the city are not buying it. Here are several videos of local people, as well as the Ohio Senator Mr. J.D. Vance, showing what appears to be toxic bubbling water around town.
Dead worms and dead fish all throughout this water. Something I just discovered is that if you scrape the creek bed, it's like chemical is coming out of the ground. Can you come here? And let me just show this to people. I don't know if you're going to see this on camera, but watch this. Just see that chemical pop out of the creek. This is disgusting.
As you can see, while the top layer of the water seems okay, once you throw something into it or you disturb the water in some way, the contents on the bottom begin to bubble up, and they look rainbow colored, similar to what gasoline in water looks like. Other residents in the city posted videos of them boiling the local water and showing that once they did, a strange white residue remained. And of course, there are other videos showing dead fish floating around the local waterways, leading many residents to, for some odd reason, not trust the guidance of their local government. However, amidst these videos and amidst these reports, the director of the EPA made a special trip out to East Palestine, wherein he walked along a creek, which at the time still smelled of chemicals, and he tried to reassure these skeptical residents that the water was okay to drink and that they should be trusting of their government. It was part of his statement, quote, "I'm asking that they trust the government. I know that's hard. We know there's a lack of trust. We're testing for everything that was on that train." But notably, he did not drink the water himself. And later in the day, when a local reporter asked the director of the EPA whether he would allow his own kids to either play in the creek or to drink the local water, well, here was his response.
You know, what I would say is if those homes have been tested, and if those homes have been tested by the state and given a clean bill of health, yes, as a father, I trust the science, I trust the methodology that this state is using.
Trust the science and drink the water. But the story actually gets a lot deeper than this, because although what we're seeing in East Palestine is very striking, with dead fish and the obvious chemicals that are in the water, the truth is, what's happening to the water and the environment in Ohio is just a much higher profile version of what the EPA has allowed to happen throughout the whole country over the last 70 years, with the rise of what are known as forever chemicals. Meaning that despite the fact that you might be living in Oklahoma, Alabama, Oregon, or somewhere else in the country that's not necessarily close to Ohio, and even though your water in the tap might look fine on the surface, very likely you are ingesting these forever chemicals just the same. However, let me back up for a quick moment and introduce to you what these forever chemicals are actually all about and how it is that they came to proliferate our entire environment. And I hope that if you appreciate content like this.
Okay, so if you're interested in watching more of that, you can head over to my channel and check that out. What is this? All right. So, Michael Stanley Reagan, he is the first. Okay, let me just read this. So, Michael Stanley Reagan is an American environmental regulator. He has been serving as the 16th administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency since March 11, 2021. He is the first African American man to serve in the role. So this is Michael, right? He may look like a lot of you out there. This is a fiend. This is a fiend. And you could tell also, he doesn't even know who he is. He calls himself an African American, 2 continents. A continent is not a nationality. It's not based on a person's identity. It's just a landmass. But aside from that, he's basically said if the government says it's okay to drink the poison water, it must be fine because I can't believe my own eyes. Everybody that watched the video, you saw it looked like the motor oil that you see in a puddle on your driveway or in the road. Would you drink that if the government said it's okay? Evil people. And it gets worse. And it gets worse. So this is from the Griot. And they clipped a YouTube video of this. I wouldn't call her my sister, but some of you might. A Florida state rep is thanking God for slavery. Have you ever heard a sister say this? A Florida state representative is thanking God for slavery, and her statement is taking people by surprise. I wonder why. State Representative Kimberly Daniels said publicly that if it wasn't for slavery, I might be somewhere in Africa worshiping a tree. If it wasn't for slavery, I might be somewhere in Africa worshiping a tree. And only if she took a meta-netter class, she would know that the tree is very special and that she actually represents the tree. But this is what happens in the societies we're born into. This matrix society. It totally takes somebody that could have been beautiful, and she still can. You never know. Never know. But at the moment, this is a fiend. So this is off Instagram. It's just this guy left a comment. He said, "We gonna kill you, bed wench and whore. Sell out to your ancestors in Africa. I'm gonna find where you stay at." Okay, so that's someone making a comment to her, and she says, Corazon Kamboka says, "The threats I receive every day for being in love with someone who isn't black." See, if I see something like this, because I've seen stuff like this happen to me, I immediately question it, and then possibly addresses are exchanged, because this is serious. I'm sure you just don't say this because there's agencies and there's people watching us constantly. So you can't just post something like this on a popular social media site unless you're incredibly stupid, which is also a possibility, or you're incredibly angry and could actually potentially do this. But I'm just showing this to let you know what. Just look, beautiful sister, right? Very, 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 very beautiful. And here it is. Where is she in the pod class? Where is she at is she in the show right now? Are you here? It's very important for our black, brown women, especially, to understand that race mixing, recessive, mutated gene absorption is not natural. And it became popular after colonization and rape. Therefore, the Greeks. This produces an offspring with a culturally deteriorated mind, and the past mind included. Okay, so I'm a product of this. I have firsthand not only knowledge but experience of the confusion, the turmoil, the agony. See, it's already starting to choke me up already. The agony, the stress, the pain, not being able to fit in with the Tamils, not being able to fit in with the blacks. You know the mental anguish. Well, if you're not a product of this, you probably don't know how it feels. So I can't say that. I'm just letting you know from personal experience. It's a very, very. I would never subject any child of mine, if I ever have them, again in the future. I would never subject them to this because it's too much. I'm a total anomaly that I came out of this almost virtually unscathed. So it's very important for our black and brown women especially to understand that race mixing, recessive mutated gene absorption, is not natural. It became popular after colonization and rape, therefore the Greeks. This produces an offspring with a culturally deteriorated mind in the past, mine included, that creates an unnecessary, confused existence, plagued by chaos and insecurities that may last a lifetime, thus ruins any chance of a nation's birth, wealth, and survival. And by the way, a lot of these quote unquote, because nobody's biracial, nobody's mixed, nobody's mulatto, these are all derogatory terms created by the Portuguese in Spain, colonizers. A lot of these people are adopted because the skin is lighter. And the Tamus feel they can educate them quicker and faster. Well, it didn't work with me. Well, there's no fear here. We're going in. So look, two psyops going on here. We got the mask and we got the I Love Jesus on the mask. You know, Saba. Oh man. If anybody knows how to break through to her, let me know. I would love to learn from you. So of course, the rapist, Jesus, is going through her mind. Because if she knew what a lot of you know today, she would be far away from him. As far as possible. And of course, the children come out light, bright, damn near white. And we'll get to that. So this was in the Daily Mail. This first published January 17th. Mother becomes only black woman in the world to give birth to two white babies to beat millions to 1 odds. So a lot of times when either brothers or sisters of dark melanated skin have sexual intercourse with a Tamahu and the baby comes out, they usually don't just come out exclusively looking like this. I know within my own family, my sisters and brothers came out all different shades. Some a little bit darker than her, some a little bit lighter than her, some my complexion. You have ones like this. And they'll say that. They'll say, oh, biracial. She had two biracial kids. But here they're saying they're white. Psyops. You're white. You think they're going to listen to anything? Oh, we'll get to it. She said, I get tired of being stopped in the street by people asking if I'm the nanny. So there's people, when she's out, with her children, these are her children, thinking she's the help. Thinking she's the nanny. This Nigerian woman. This could have been Black Goddess. She may still be. I never give up on anybody, so maybe she will be in the future. And doctors say it's a genetic quirk. It's not a genetic quirk. They're thinking, yes. Two black people can form albinos, yes. But it is guaranteed when you mix with a Tamu, recessive genes are going to enter in with the egg. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So it's not a genetic quirk. It's not just something that rarely happens. It happens all the time. So your sexual preference is your business. Let me reiterate that. I don't care who you have sex with. Let me make that clear. I could care less. However, if we represent Ma'at, speaking to the people that follow Ma'at, especially the members, being conscious of whom you mix seed with is important for the child. Every one of us carries a certain spirit, energy that attracts what we want and do not want to enter our lives. Having sex is not merely physical, but first spiritual. I am guilty. Once again, I am guilty of this in the past, so do not exempt myself from this evil. Thought precedes action. The mere thought she is sexually attractive could lead to physical intercourse. I don't care about this lie I've heard brothers say just because she's a Tamu, she's ugly. That's BS. I'll be the first to admit it. Physically, yes, I've seen Tamu women with large butts, large juicy breasts. I've seen this. And it's natural. It's okay. Your body's reacting because that's what it's supposed to do. But if you act on it, especially if you claim to be a follower of Ma'at or in this movement, I'm not saying we shouldn't talk to or engage with Tamahus anymore, because especially if we live in Western society like the United States or Canada or England or wherever, Europe, of course you have to interact with them. And I'm not saying to go out there and start abusing them and all that. I'm not saying all that either. So I'm not saying we shouldn't talk to or engage with Tamahus anymore. Just don't reproduce Sebau children with them. Because unless they find Ma'at, they will become your enemy. This is a guarantee from knowledge and first-hand experience. I did not find my teacher. I can't even tell you what would be going on at this moment. Remember this Seba glyph? So the foreigners, by the way, if you have Budge's Dictionary, I know a lot of you have Budge's Dictionary. This is volume 1, page C. This glyph represents foreigners, people that are captive, not only physically, but captive within their minds. The mindset, the foreign mindset, is the captive mindset, the prisoner. Foreigners were known as Seba, enemies, and devils of the Nile Valley people. See that? See that? So to have this mindset is literally decapitating your head or death. Part 2. Devils want your attention. Hope the sisters enjoying this so far. So once again, back to the etymology, of course. Devil, noun. Old English, the fool. Almost sounds like the fool. Old English, the fool, a devil, a subordinate evil spirit. A subordinate evil spirit afflicting humans. It's an evil spirit afflicting humans. In Christian theology, the devil, a powerful spirit of evil, otherwise known as Satan or Satan. The late Latin word is from the ecclesiastical Greek diablos, which in the Jewish and Christian use was the devil, Satan, which in general use meant accuser, slanderer. Slanderer is somebody that talks about you. So, for instance, if I don't agree with you, I start using ad hominems like "you're ugly," you have a big nose, you have a fat face, deflecting all that slander. Or I talk behind your back, I create lies about you, or tell other people lies about an encounter you had with me. Thus, it was a scriptural loan, a translation of Hebrew Satan, Satan, from the Proto-Indo-European root gwel, to throw, reach. That's what devil means, according to the inventors of the word. Before we go deeper into devils, let's look at Satan. Is it someone who slanders and plots against us in order to throw us off our path towards following Ma'at? Or a horned creature made from a cartoon? The Seba, the serpent god of evil, the arch enemy of Ra. So the Seba was the arch enemy of Ra. The associates and those that associates with the enemy of Ra. So the associates of the enemy of Ra were the Seba as well. The Seba was the arch enemy of Ra. And we'll get back to we'll answer this question here. I just want to show you something first. Seba also means the enemy of Pep. The enemy of Pep. The enemy, which Budge in the Talmud is called par excellence. They calling him something great, the great enemy, the excellent enemy. It's something very feared by the Nile Valley people. This energy, this manifested being and energy that comes forth from him. The Sebau, the worker of evil. The worker of evil. Evil was not following Ma'at. That was evil in Kemet, or what's being called evil today. Every one of us has the potential to become a Sebau fiend. Like Set became after being a powerful Aha warrior, Neter that protected Ra. So Set is always referenced, well, not always, but most of the time referenced today as evil, the devil, the fiend. No, Set was actually a great warrior. He was actually a true brother to Heru initially, a true uncle to Heru, and a brother. Okay? And a great warrior, a great aha. So let's find out what happened briefly. This is from the Rhine Papyrus 3, the Bremner Rhine Papyrus 3, page 169. I'm going to start at line 17 and read up to line 23. It says, the first book of Failing, Apep, the foe of Re, recite, fall on thy face, O Apep. Thou foe of Re, get thee back, thou enemy, thou rebel, who has neither arms nor legs, or thou snout shall be cut off from the rest of thy face. Talking about the Pep serpent. Thou art fallen and felled, for Ra Herakuti has felled thee, he has crushed thee, he has condemned thee. The eye of his body chastises thee. The eye were our females, were the goddesses, which comes forth in its moment of action. Its fiery blast is on thee. Sekhmet, thy raging is dispelled by Osset through the spells of her utterance. Isis, proper name is Osset, or Ast, through the spells of her utterance. Through the spells of her utterance. We'll get to the utterances soon. Thy soul, or thy ba, is cut up. That means the ba is being destroyed. That negative energy is being destroyed. Thy vertebrae are severed because the pest, or the backbone, your light body, your kundalini, is being severed, is being cut off. Your power. Haru, or Horus, the proper name for Horus is Haru, has made thee impotent. It was the worst thing that could happen to males, and even today for brothers, is to be impotent. It is not to be able to give forth seed, fertile, to produce children. The children of Haru break thee up. See, Haru's children are fighting as well, for thou art destroyed in their moment. Back, get thee back, off, take thee off. Thou art fallen, driven off, and turned back, O Apep. Are these brothers sitting around a fire, singing Kumbaya? Are they sitting all day on YouTube, watching video after video? Are they wearing unks all day and stroking each other's egos? No, they're fighting. And a lot of the pirate stories are about the males battling for the women, because the women were giving us our power. Every brother knows that when a woman really respects and appreciates him and provides and protects for him and wants to listen to him, he will give her the world. And the only reason why a lot of our women are not getting that from us is because there's no reciprocated relationship between both of us. The great Enad, which is in Helapius, drives thee off. Helapius anew drives thee off. Heru has repelled thy rage. Seth has rendered thy moments of action impotent. Osset repels thee. Nebhet cuts thee up. The great Peshet, or the great Enad, which is in the prow. The prow is the brow. Of the bark of Re drives thee off. Set has stabbed at thy neck. See that? So Set is stabbing. He's doing one of the main tasks that need to be done to kill this energy. He's stabbing the neck of Apep. The children of Haru set their spears in thee. Those gods who guard the doors of the mysterious portals repel thee. Their fiery blast goes forth against thee in fire. This is dealing with portals. This is dealing with not only physicalities, but it's also dealing with the energetic realm, or the realm that we right now, if we just use our physical eyes, cannot see. It's the war that's happening within you. Where Set at one time assisted in the battle. But like all of us, we can always jump right back into the Matrix and become a Mr. Smith. So if you noticed in the Satan etymology, there was this root STN. The root for Satan or Satanus is STN. That's where they got Satan from this root that's STN. Where does this root STN come from? STN comes from Sutun. Sutun. It means to kill. It means to kill. And you can see the waves, you can see the spiral, you can see the energy. Again, you want to learn all this, I suggest you sign up to MetaNetter Mondays if you need to know how. Sure, me or the scribe will go over it when this presentation is finished. So this is where Satan came from. You know it now. If you didn't know it before, it comes from Sutin. Of course, I'm going to explain that deeper. But first, we're going to go over to the Bible. John 10:10, to a famous verse that a lot of people have heard before. This is from John chapter 10, verse 10, New King James Version. The thief does not come except to steal and to kill and to destroy. I have come that they may have life and that they may have it more abundantly. So this is talking in an allegory, but it could also mean physical. But we're going to talk about it today, about it being metaphorical or something that's not in this physical realm, that's happening within the thought realm. The thief does not come except to steal and to kill and to destroy. Famous verse most of us have heard. Connecting Sutun to Set. We'll do this first, then get back to the biblical verse, John chapter 10, verse 10, especially the term thief and its link to false teachers, Satan, and negative energy that's all around us today. So Sutun comes from Sut. See that? Sutun comes from Sut for Satish. Set, the god of evil. There you go. And start focusing on this glyph here. Looks like a warrior or some person holding an axe, raising it. Okay, so Sutun comes from Sut. Set was a netter who was physical. That began the meaning of a person that was so hurt, jealous, angry enough to kill his own brother. Sound familiar? Is that happening with black men today? All over the world. Is it easier for black men to kill each other than it is to kill the Tamahus? The Suti. We see the fire pit or fire. The Suti also means Set again. See that? Set had many titles. Many titles. We're only going to get to some here today. Here's a determinative that a lot of people have seen before. Set, the god of evil, is a Sati. Set energy, represented by fire, equals light, equals Ku, equals consciousness, is a person who hates Ma'at and loves the matrix, created by the Greeks. The mental and physical war is very real and rages on. Really quick, let's connect John 10:10 to the false teachers in the conscious community. Today, could they be the famed Sebau, black devils? I'll let you decide. Sorry, I won't be calling out any names or posting their pictures. If you followed our show for a while, you know who they are already. So let's get to a closer up screen. Okay, so this is John 10:10. Just going to take you through it step by step. So the thief comes not. This is from the Blue Letter Bible. Highly recommend this as a tool, as a biblical teaching tool. The thief cometh not. This is John 10:10 from the King James Bible. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. You see that in the Greek, the Textus Receptus, it's 10:10 again. Here it is. It's English thief, Strong's G2812. See that? Strong's G2812. It translates into kleptis. See that? Kleptis. G2813, Strong's. What does it say here? The thief in this verse means the name is transferred to false teachers who do not care to instruct men, but abuse their confidence for their own gain. Is this happening on a level that is monumental today in this conscious community? I'm just going to sit here for about 10, 20 seconds and let that resonate. The name is transferred to false teachers who do not care to instruct men, but abuse their confidence for their own gain. Does this sound like any teachers or teachings or shows or channels or anything that you've seen or heard before? So according to the Greek, according to the translation of Strong's G2812, that's what a thief is. It's the false teacher who is conning you and abusing you to gain your trust, so you do not trust us here today. Okay. This famous verse is talking about the devil, therefore Satan. However, go deeper, and it's talking about the Sebau, or foreign teachers, and their false narratives about our ancestors' culture. So whereas we say, real quick example is where we say, we here on the panel too, and the members, I'm sure, believe that the Netter were not principles or aspects only, that they were also physical. You go to, I haven't heard any other channel that Speak Talk says this like us. If they're out there, please put it in the chat. Let us know. I want to investigate them. But to my knowledge of today, there's no other channel that claims that the Nets were real physical beings too on the planet. So does it get any more evil than this? Does it get any more evil? Let's continue. So you see the Sut again there? From Sut and Sutin, it also forms Sutek, the Hittite form of the Egyptian name of the god Set. So even the Hittites were in on this. They knew entirely different what we call so-called black culture, knew about this Set person, being, energy, and called it the Setup, or the Setek. All Budge did was remove the U. You still have the same word. The Setek here means set. The Seteki means malign magic. We know, if you've been following us, if you're not new, I'll just tell you now, but if you've been following us a while, you already know that magic is the erroneous word for Heka, which is two words, the Het and the Ka. It is your eternal power, your eternal energy that animates your physical body right now, that is keeping you alive even when you're not conscious of making your lungs and your heartbeat. The malign Heka. What is malign? What is the steki? Or the Siteki, excuse me? The malign magic. What does malign mean? Malign is bad nature. Bad nature. The Proto-Indo-European root gene. Gene. See that gene to give birth? So it's a bad nature that's birthed within us. To speak slander, speak evil, to defame, to plot. There's that word deceive again that I spoke about earlier. Deceive, pervert, mean, unkind. When you go to these other channels, I can do this real quick. Let me see. When you go to these other channels, do you see brothers when they're on the panel together? Do they seem mean spirited? Do they seem unkind? Do they seem bad natured? Is there a lot of defaming going on? Do you see this stuff happening? And why I'm saying this because I want to see a comparison between us and them. Do you see a lot of malign hecka going on? You can put a one in the chat if you want. If not, I'll just keep it moving. How about you brothers on the panel? Real quick, do you see this happening on other channels? The malign hecka?
It's all I see on other channels.
All arguments. It's all arguments.
You got to take it in increments. 10, 15 minutes at a time. Give it an hour break and go back. Maybe
eat the fish and spit out the bone, right? What they said? No, not enough meat on the bones. What was the lie? The is fat.
I can't remember, brother. Okay, okay, great. People are giving ones. Shannon says lots. Ego clash and rebel minded. I stopped watching them. Yeah, that happens, brother. That we can talk. Come on the panel after. I'd love to talk to you about that. Not talk about them exclusively, but why you stopped. Okay. Get back to sharing mode. That's funny. Okay. All right. So we established what malign means. That malign hecka is, which now being called malign magic, and it has to do with the sateki. You see that? It's an energy. It's an energy that's happening within the person first before they act it out. It's that energy, that negative vibration. The sateki also means to overthrow. See that? Remember? Remember from before? Remember from the root guel? It means to throw, which also is overthrow. That's where overthrow comes from. It comes from throw. So let's keep going deeper. It also means defeat. It's a defeated mindset that's overthrown. You got to be very strong in the struggle against the matrix. It is a struggle. I'm not going to fool you. It is a struggle. It is a struggle. We're not here skipping around, throwing tulips at one another. We're giving encouragement because it builds us up. It builds the confidence up, even if we don't believe it. By me complimenting the brother on the panel and hailing Kemet, it builds the confidence up. It builds the spirit up. Even at the moment, you don't see it as being true. The desire of conscious teachers today in 2023, whether conscious of it or not, is to subliminally and overtly overthrow or throw away the teachings, the history, and the culture of our ancestors. Let me read that again. The desire of conscious teachers today in 2023, whether conscious of it or not, is to subliminally and overtly throw away the teachings, history, and culture of our ancestors for a more progressive and acceptable school of thought called Black Devil Power. You heard it here first, unless you know somebody else is using this. It started here on the teachings of Ma'at. It's called Black Devil Power. That's the school of thought of these teachers. Have you heard our great Saba or myself ever refer to you as being a part of the conscious community? What is the conscious community built in the decades they've been around? That's going to hurt a lot of people. They're probably not going to. They're probably going to hate me even more than they hate me. What have you built? Where's our nation? Okay, so a physical nation too. I mean, with the military, agriculture, finance, all that. Okay, the sty or the satai is a title of set also. Okay, we're doing a lot of connecting here. The Stiu or the Satuyu, Budge calls them Asiatics. They weren't called Asiatics. We're called Namu. And there's no such thing as Nubians. We're gonna get to that very quickly. There's no such thing as Nubians. That's a whole nother show. Man, that's why I cross it out here, because I hate seeing that. It's so much disrespect to the ancestors, so much. You see the glyph here represents minds of Isfet, the fiends, negative people. Okay, so again, we witness the genius of our ancestry, linking foreign people minds to that of a well-known adversary of Ma'at. The target glyph, this is the target glyph. It means to shoot, to aim, target. Something's being targeted. It is our minds that are being targeted in this matrix first. Our minds. The target glyph represents our thoughts, and the bread loaf glyph is female energy being in rebellion to her natural state. The target glyph represents our thoughts, and the bread loaf glyph is female energy being in rebellion to her natural state. However, when restored, she defends Ra, similar to Set. She becomes a warrior again. So the Satut is, look at this. The Satut is, you see this cliff here? The Satut is a motion or walking the two legs towards the leg, which is facing what? To the left, which symbolizes Sept, which is dealing with Cyrus, which is dealing with Lightland, and on and on and on. To go on for a walk, to walk about a place, to pass, to journey. Your Ba, your Ba, which is connected to your Ka, which is your life force, your energy, is going through a constant eternal energy, through physical and material life. There is no separation. Okay? So, if you remember, if you haven't seen Scribe's teaching, I suggest you go to a website. You can find it there. But you can also find, was there an ancient people called Nubian e-teaching? It's 99 cents. It includes a PDF and an audiobook for $1, for less than $1. It's really $1. For $1, you can get all this. And it just breaks. Listen, and you hear me say it all the time. If you got $1, donate $1, all this stuff. Listen, you are going to get the Matrix Breaker. You are going to get a PDF that you can store forever, an audiobook if you don't want to even read and you'd rather just listen to it. You can listen to it, but you're going to get the visual and the audio for $1. So if anybody's out there thinking about giving to us, I'd rather you give to us and get something in return. And you can find out, was there an ancient people called Nubian? Okay. And why? And the reason why, of course, the breakdown is just like these teachings here. It's only $1, and I appreciate it because all that gets donated to the movement. So I don't even know if somebody's actually supporting or not. I have no idea what's going on with that. That's left to my staff, but it's not. The money's not going to me either. It's going to the movement, the teachingsofmaat.org. Could the Nile Valley people go so deep in their thoughts that they could connect? fiend, devil, Satan, stealing, Ra's enemy. Linking multiple meta words meanings together. So could the Nile Valley people go so deep in their thoughts that they could connect fiend, devil, Satan, stealing, Ra's enemy, linking multiple meta words meanings together? Let's find out. So back to T'Challa. If you go back a couple shows, can't remember exactly which one. It was recent though. It might have been within this month. I spoke about the good, quote unquote, good aspect, or the other side of what T'Challa means, dealing with Lightland and Sept. Now there's always another side. There's an Isfet side, of course, to everything. So the connection is the T'Challa, which is the root of T'Chai. And we see here that T'Chai means devil and it means fiend. See that? And there's that glyph again that it's a running theme in this show tonight. See that? The warrior or the person with the axe looking to chop your head off. And here's the fire, something rising up in you like anger, an anger emotion, a jealous emotion, an envious emotion, a negative emotion rising, a flame. Because that's what it is too, the T'Chai. I could stop there, sister, who wanted to hear this teaching tonight. I could stop here because I basically already answered your question. I answered it, but I won't. Here we go. Here we go. T'Chai continues to connect us to Ma'at, the truth. Ma'at means the truth. That's where the actual word truth comes from, Ma'at. T'Chai means an impure man. See that? T'Chai means an impure man. T'Chai means wrong, evil. T'Chai means to steal, theft. Remember John? The thief does not come except to steal and to kill and to destroy. See that? The T'Chai means to steal and theft. See that? I love this life. I'll just say that. Everything is answered. And bonus, T'Chai is the enemy of Ra. See that? T'Chai is the enemy of Ra, which links us back to the Seba, or the Sebau, which links us back to Satan and the devil. See that? That's just part 2. Part 3, protection utterances. Of course, I always leave you in my shows something you can utilize today or tonight, wherever you're at, so you can immediately implement it into your life if you choose. How our ancestors defeated the fiend and devils, Isfet, and we can too. All right. For the rest of this presentation, I will read and speak on a few utterances that will assist you in your journey and battle against this matrix. And you hear it in our outro video. If you don't stick around for it, I suggest you do, because you'll hear Morpheus, which is Saba Tahuti. I'm trying to free your mind, Neo, but I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it. So true. We're talking about a lot of doors, portals, gates. Talking about a lot of that tonight. So we're going to go over to the utterances, because I love to get into the literature, of course, and I love you to have it and have the proper meaning and tools with you throughout the week.
But I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.
And let these people in the chat, I'm not going to switch over to the screen, but let these brothers know on the panel if you're enjoying this, and if you like this style of teaching, leave your suggestions, because we want to hear from you too. We want to know what you like, because it doesn't make sense if you're not liking what we're giving you. We'd like to give you what you want. So leave a comment or let these brothers know. Even if you want something, it's cool too. If you want something different, let us know. All right, what am I doing here? I'm in the wrong. Ooh. Okay, so we'll start. We'll start here. Okay. So this is the hymn of praise to Ra. You can find this in the Purim Haru. It's chapter CXXXIV. I'm going to read the whole thing. No, it's a lot. Bear with me. A hymn of praise to Ra on the day of the month whereon he saileth in the boat. Osiris the scribe, Ani saith, homage to thee, O thou who art in thy boat. Boat is dealing this context with consciousness. Thou risest, thou shinest with thy rays. Thou hast made mankind to rejoice for millions of years, according to thy will. Thou showest thy face unto the beings, whom thou hast created, O Keparah, in thy consciousness, or both. Thou hast overthrown a Pep, O ye children of Seb. Overthrow ye the foes of Osiris. Seb is Saba. Actually, Seb is Geb. Well, we can get, I don't want to confuse. That could be, it's linked, but I don't want to get into that right now. But in the context here, it's talking about Geb, but it also means Seb. We can get into that. Or you can ask Saba. Even better, you can ask Saba. Overthrow ye foes of Osiris, Ani, triumphant, destroy. Ye the adversaries of righteousness from the boat of Ra. Horus shall cut off your heads in heaven in the likeness of ducks. So again, this is about to get gruesome. The material did not play. They were not saying we should pray for the Sebau, we should pray for these sisters and brothers. They're taking off heads like ducks. Ye shall fall down upon the earth and become beasts, and into the water in the likeness of fishes. So he's chopping heads and legs. Describe Ani, and Ani is going through this too. Destroyeth every hostile fiend. See that? Destroyeth every hostile fiend, male and female. Destroyeth every hostile fiend, male and female, whether he passes through heaven or appeareth on earth. And see, this is what the Talmud doesn't want us to know. He doesn't want to know that there is no such thing as humankind. That we're separated by our mind states. That just because you're black doesn't mean I have to get along with you. Just because you're Mexican doesn't mean I have to get along with you. And we all have experienced this. We've all dealt with somebody that looks like us, but we don't like them. But we stay in the crowd because, hey, we want to be part of the tribe. But here we know that we're supposed destroy every hostile fiend, male and female. This is also dealing with energy, physical and material. When I'm speaking here, it's always going to be the spiritual and physical. They're always connected. There's no separation. So destroy every hostile fiend, male and female, whether he passes through heaven in the spiritual realm or upon here on earth. Or cometh forth upon the water or passes along before the starry deities, and Tahuti strengthen them coming forth from Anreti. Osiris the scribe Ani is silent and becometh the second Ra, the second light. He's supposed to be mirroring everything that's going on. Behold thou the God, the great slaughterer, greatly to be feared, he washeth in your blood. Talking about the Sekhmet energy. This is a horror movie. He bathed in your gore. We're not supposed to be watching horror movies. He bathed in your gore. He's washing in your gore. That's your blood, your guts. What is going on here? Osiris the scribe Ani destroyeth them from the boat of his father Ra Haru. Destroy that consciousness. And back then, in this case, the person. The mother, all set, so they're going into physical battle with this energy. The mother, all set, giveth birth unto Osiris the scribe, Ani triumphant, whose heart liveth, and Nebhet nurseth him. Even at and Nebhet, a lot of people mainly talk about Osset, but Nebhet played a major role. Very interesting sister. Even as they did for Haru, who drove back the friends of Sut. See that? Who drove back the fiends, the friends. The fiends of Sut. See that? So Haru and Ani drove back the fiends of Sut because he got not only the milk from his mother, but he got her knowledge too, because the goddesses already had this energy in them ready to go. Unlike today where we have to teach you, which is fine. That's what we want. They saw the Uretu or Ureshu crown established upon his head, and they fell down upon their faces. Behold, O ye shining ones, ye men and gods, ye damned ones, when ye behold Osiris Ani triumphant, like unto Haru and adored. Oh man, see the love? The encouragement, by reason of the auric crown, fall ye down upon your faces, for Osiris Ani is victorious, the Makaru. See that? Ani is you, is victorious, is Makaru, over his foes in the heavens. There it is again, to show you that this isn't just a spiritual war. This isn't just a spiritual. See, that's what the conscious community wants us to. Not everybody. I'm not saying everybody thinks like this, but a lot of the theme of the conscious community, because it's easy and it's safe, it's a spiritual world. It's spiritual. It's a spiritual battle. Spiritual battle. Spiritual battle. No, not according to the ancestors. He was victorious over his foes in the heavens, in Pet, or Pe, and above, and on earth. Oh man. Beneath in the presence of the godlike rulers of all the gods and goddesses. Ooh. So, sister, we are supposed to be destroying every hostile fiend, male and female. Serious words. Actually, I'm going to say that one until last. This is from the Purim Haru, page 135 to 136, plate 21. Okay, so what I usually do, we're almost done here. What I usually do is I read it out in the meta netter, and then I read the translation because I want you to feel the energy of what might have been the sounds our ancestors made when they were reading this, reading their Purim Harus. So it says Ah, Neru, Sakem, Sakamu, Haru, or Set F, Isfet, Ah, Kau, M Seket, F, Au, M, Etc, Se, Kaku, Ek. Mighty of victories, power of powers, fortifying his station. His can be a her too. See the offset? So it's speaking about our females too. His station, her station. I would cross it out. I didn't have time. Against wicked devils. You see that? Isfeta or Isfet? Wicked devils. And see that same symbol there? Oh boy. The devils. Mighty of the victories, power of power, fortifying his station against wicked devils, mighty of splendor. Your Ka, this is the Ka, this is the Ka rising. Your Ka is rising because this energy is in you now. These are energetic words, uplifting words. Your Ka is of splendor. In the Saket boat, this is dealing with consciousness again. Mighty is he, okay, because it's always exceedingly in the Tet boat. This is Nia's symbol. You've probably seen in Scribe's virtual background. You should see the symbol there. This is where they got it from. The Tet boat. This is dealing with your consciousness. The ant. Make glorious thou. So let me read it again. It says, mighty of victories, power of powers, fortifying his station, her station, because the female energy is the male energy, against wicked devils, mighty of splendor, in the Saket boat, in one part of your consciousness, mighty is he, exceedingly in the consciousness, make glorious thou. So within your consciousness, you are making it glory, not Ahati. You're making it glorious and splendid right now, because you're learning the meta netter. You're feeling the vibrations and tone inflection in my voice. This is what brings forth a nation. Part 2 goes on to page 136. Asar Ani in Makaru M Neterkurt Ta Kek Un F Emintet Su M Tut Mak Hak Isfet Ta Kau M Emiki Kur Kul Kenem F Ba'u M Tashert Seket F M Seket Aru. Osiris Ani is with victory, the Makaru again, in the Neterkurt. Neterkurt is a atomic realm. It's where subatomic particles form and prior to their birth that create us in a physical form. Grant thou that he may be in, again, the Neterkurt, that is Amentet. That's what's now called the Valley of the Kings. There's a whole nother lesson. Empty of sins, I pray thee. Of course, they weren't praying, they were speaking. It's your voice, the ma, the perception. Your thoughts and your voice is connected. You can't speak without thoughts. You have to be conscious first. That's why the Mak is there. The Ma, which deals with perception, which creates Ma'at. Put behind thee his faults. You see that, sister? It's fed again. Faults. We talked about faults earlier. Faults is a word created from fail. That you can't fail. You can only fail as if you have the knowledge and you don't take action with it. That's a true failure. Oh, yeah, it's going to hurt. Granted, I may be among the venerated beings, with the conscious beings, the shining ones. Your Ku has multiple meanings. One of them is light and consciousness and intelligence. The shining ones, it's your conscious in the Kur. Your Kur is dealing with your mouth. It's dealing with your sound vibration. May he join the souls or the Bas which are in the Tasheret. May he journey into the Seketaru. This is one of what's now today in scientific terms the quantum realm, the quantum fields, the morphic resonance fields by Rupert Sheldrake, who's got tons of credentials that they call for pseudoscientists on Wikipedia because they don't want you to read into this guy. Because he's not getting his information from the meta-netter, but his information matches up with the meta-netter, and he's a scientist. And if people knew that on a grand scale, you wouldn't need the scientists anymore. In that aspect, through the decree with joy of heart, it's all about your heart energy, your Ka. Okay. Let's read it real quickly again. Osiris Ani with victory in the Neterkurt, grant thou that he, remember the he is also dealing with the her, be in the Neter world, empty of the sins. The tut, okay? This is dealing with your image, and it's not dealing with sins. That's a whole another lesson. But the tut is dealing with your image. Image, your image. It is your thoughts. It is the voice in your head when you speak to yourself in your head before you speak to us. That's creating your outside image of you. So if you feel a certain way about yourself, whether you try to hide it or not, we will see it. because you are thinking it. This is where the original, I forgot the old Tamu name, who I used to listen to when I was in sales back in the day. We used to listen to this old Tamu, and he said, as a man thinketh, so is he, or something like that. He wrote a famous book or whatever. Okay, I promised to read this through, so I'm going to do that. So I pray thee, I speak thee, put behind thee his faults. Grant that I may be among the venerated beings with the conscious ones or shining ones. May he join the souls which are in the Ta Sheret. May he journey into the Seket Aru, the quantum realm, or quantum fields, through the decree with joy of heart. Man, you start reading this as a suggestion to you, and let me know how you feel in about 3 months if you read this daily. Okay. Now, I just want to start off, this is the last one. I just want to start off with, I want to give credit to Saba Tahuti, because I did go to him for this one, and I actually read this every night, just about. And it's two of which great utterance given in order to protect me in the Upesh. So I needed this for protection in the dream realm. And I started doing what's now called an out-of-body experience, where I was actually controlling my out-of-body. It's not just happening, because they did happen prior to me controlling them. When I was starting to control them, I've seen a lot of stuff that I didn't want to see at first. Okay. So again, through the metanetter, sesh re in sheshet emre style, una hena haru emnet ka pui ibi in asar imi sakem aki pui im amu haru ter sebu. See that? The sebu. And there's that glyph again. The sebu im sakem. Okay. Now, this is what they wrote. This is what Budge wrote. This is line 20 of the Purim Haru, page 22, plate 5. This is Budge's interpretation. I'm going to take it a little deeper and apply it to my own life. So I'm bolting the door of concealed things in race style. I'm with Haru. I'm with Horus. Protecting shoulder that left Osiris and Sekhem. I go in, I come out from the flames on the day of destroying the Sebau im Sekhem. Now, mind you, Saba gave me this as is. I did not ask him what each of these meant. Okay, I had to go and look them up if I wanted to find the deeper true meaning. So here it is. This is very special to me. So if you notice here, you see the Ren. The R-E-N, just drop the E and put the N over here, is Ren. That is your name in Kemet. You're dealing with sound frequency. So it is my frequency that's opening this door. It's unbolting this door. My frequency is opening that. Your frequency is opening the door. That's why if you notice, opportunities don't just come to you. Once you find a metanetter, you can actually create the opportunity. But when you don't have a metanetter, something good happens to you that we call surprise. It's just your frequency be opening your perception or your ma'ah to that surprise or opportunity. Whereas the ancestors and those of us that know this now can create our own surprises, quote unquote surprises and opportunities using our frequency. Now, if you want to learn how to align your frequency, come to the pod class on Fridays and ask Saba so you can start doing that. So it is our frequency. It is our thoughts that unbolt or open us to the concealed things that are in the quantum realm. So now the subatomic particles that compose you and your brain and all that now start working with you instead of against you. And they always work with you. Let me reiterate. The universe or the subatomic realm, it always works with us. We're just not conscious of it. So when things that we see as bad, that's why sometimes when things that we see are bad or wrong at this moment turn out to sometimes be the greatest thing that ever happened to us. Because the purpose of here is that it always wants to give. So knowing the Medunetter, our ancestors knew that they could tap into this energy that shows them ahead of time just about what these concealed things are. Reistal is a Netter Kurt. It's another name for the Netter Kurt or the subatomic realm. I went over that. So right now my frequency is unlocking the portals or these doorways to the subatomic realm for me, to the dream realm, because the dream realm is Lightland. It is a subatomic realm. The una, the I am, is your ego. That is you. So you are defined by your frequency that's traveling within the dream realm. That is a precursor or a preview to how death is going to be. So if I go in to the dream realm tonight and I'm constantly having nightmares, like most of the people that are in America, they have this concept of nightmare. I'm going to have nightmares. See how it works? Because when I look in the meta netter, there's no word for nightmare. When you start controlling your dreams again, because you always could, you always had this power, the Matrix took away from you, because there's a whole deeper thing. You stop having nightmares. You stop running. Okay, so and people talk about spirit guides. Heru is with you. Here, Ani's talking about Heru, but it's a netter. Some light being that's like you, that's like you, that wants your protection is with you. Because there are going to be other beings there that want to harm you, just like here. So Heru is with Ani. He is the guide. That's in the famous picture of Heru holding Ani's hands in Faulkner's translation of the Purim Heru. The net, or the Netchia Ma'at, you'll see my symbol, the Netchia Ma'at. That's where I got it from. It's dealing with net. Net is short form of Neith. It's dealing with the quantum realm. That's the symbol here. And here is the warrior symbols. And here is what's now known as the Celtic cross. But the net is protecting you. The female energy is always protecting us, whether in the physical or the dream realm. Okay. In Sekhem. Sekhem is an actual place in the subatomic realm. It's dealing with the field. If you just look up field theory or quantum field theory, it's these fields of energy that are going through our bodies right as I speak and around us. They're all in us, and we could tap into them just like the internet. Okay. I go in and I come out from the Amu. The Amu it says just the flames, but if you go deeper into this, like I do before bed, I know that I am going to go in because the Am also means to grasp or control. And flame also can mean energy, because energy creates heat, which creates a flame. So I go into these realms, like all of us will go into this realm, either tonight or at some point in our lives, and there may be things in there, energy or beings that don't look like any beings here on Earth, that are trying to attack us, grasp us, capture us, whatever it may be, hurt us. And Ani's acknowledging that here, and I acknowledge that too. But I know that I'm being protected already even before I go into this realm because I am talking to myself. Oh, man. That's what the affirmations do for you throughout your day before you go to sleep. They're literally being stored in your mind, so when you go to sleep, you don't wake up in this uncontrolled state and get attacked, and then you wake up immediately because you have a nightmare. Because once you die, you can't do that. You have to deal with it. Which goes to Amentet and what the Talmud calls second death knot. On the day of destroying the fiends in Sekhem, okay? So I'm getting a little tired here, so I'm going to stop right there. I think I'm done now. I think I'm done. All right. The times are good. Didn't go too far. All right. That's it. That's all I have. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope the sister, you know who you are, keeps reaching out. I'll leave something next time. Everybody do it too, but I know she will. And I'll do another show for you. Thank you. I'm swamped.
Ahati, that was fantastic, brother. I love the utterances. And she gave you a lot. She gave you a lot of props. I think it was Anu that requested it. They was giving you props when you mentioned it the first time.
No, it was this sister here.
Oh, okay, yeah. C2R for the knowledge. Anna Paul. Yeah, brother, that was fantastic. I love it, brother.
Nini Oak. Thank you, brother.
You got a lot of props there, a lot of ones, a lot of props, a lot of praise. Ahati was going in. Yeah, I love that, brother. That's what I was looking for, the utterances. And that was one of the most beautiful things that I discovered was realizing how powerful the Hecker was and being able to use the the magic because it's a beautiful thing, guys. My experience has been wonderful up to this point right now, and realizing that we are the real superheroes and how they've been using our magic against us. Do I sound choppy? It sounds like I'm squeaking.
No, you sound good.
Okay, good. Yeah, but that was one of the most beautiful things that I discovered was that that's us, you know, and that all the movies and all of the magic and the abracadabra, they've been using it against us all of this time. All of this time they've been using our energy against us. And we are the real superheroes. We are the real heroes, like Scribe pointed out to us last week, as he so beautifully illustrated. Teachingsofmaat.org. Check us out, like, share, and subscribe. I see y'all out there. I see you. Shout out to Shannon in the chat. Scribe, I'm gonna let you go ahead and present.
Hotep, yes. Can I be heard?
Yes, you
Yes.
sound great too, brother.
All right, thank you. Yes, Ahati, that was absolutely awesome. Once again, a just absolute movie and overload of information, and the way you synchronized it was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, and you spoke about a lot of great things. Of course, personal to me, with the the mixing of the races and what it brings about in the thought process and in the DNA war that's going on inside the body with that. So yes, that's definitely a very, very powerful magic that goes into the creation of that, and there's a lot of self-hatred in our people, which creates, it creates from the very seed a negative thought process. So Tua for bringing that forth and showing who the fiends really are, because this matrix definitely manipulates our thoughts because of this language that we speak. So you broke that spell and showing people who the fiends really are, and hopefully that will give people a different outlook and understanding of when you look at what's today is called as fiends, as you said, are not fiends in reality. That's a whole different thing. That's a whole different topic, So the fiends walking around on the planet are not don't have usually pipes to their mouth. They usually have some type of red liquid that goes and flows through the veins. Those are the fiends. So Tua for bringing that forth, and the utterances, the Bremner Rhyme Papyrus is I love reading that. It's just complete magic of slang, a pep, and it's just full of just powerful warrior magic. And yes, I'm so glad that you brought that forth, and we giving the people weapons to protect themselves, and it all starts with the mental, of course, which falls into the physical. And it was that was absolutely beautiful. This is definitely, if you guys have, make sure you download this video to have it in your archives. These type of teachings, you never really know. So make sure you have this offline so you can always have it, because these teachings are very, very, very important to us becoming our own heroes, which is liberating ourselves, because no one's going to do it for us. We don't have to go around asking for it. We're going to have to do it ourselves. And it definitely starts with breaking these hypnosis and these negative spells that keep us in a mode of self-hatred, to where when we look at our own people, there's no real love there, and it's a misunderstanding of communication, and the great brother Ahati brought forth a lot of meta-netter, which is one of the major keys to unlocking the hypnosis that's going on. So Saba Tahuti hosts a meta-netter class every Monday, and it's essential. I say it multiple times a week. It's essential that everyone who is a follower of Ma'at and who studies Ma'at to study the Medu-Neter, and you'll be able to you'll start to see things that if I was to tell you now, you won't recognize. But when you start to go into the actual glyphs and you start to relearn what these tones actually mean, things will just start to reveal themselves to you, and you'll be like, oh, I remember 6 months ago. You'll start to just remember things that you didn't recognize, that's always been right there in front of your face, and this is essential. This is necessary. And yes, what we're doing here at the Teachings of Ma'at is making sure that we provide what's necessary for our people to be as successful as possible, to pass down the information for the children to come into this existence outside of this Tamahu matrix that keeps us in a slave mind state. Even if you're free, it don't matter how much money you got in your bank account, you're still in a slave mindset, and it just doesn't mean anything. The physical representation has been completely flipped upside down because there's no spiritual teachings to go along with your everyday life, where everything is incorporated into your actual essence of being, and this is what the Teachings of Ma'at is bringing forth because of Saba Tahuti, and he has he is the leader that we all need at this time, to be able to just remove all of the opinion and all the just the false lies, and just bring forth the actual fact and truth. And I always say, it hurts initially whenever you're connected to certain things and you apply all your energy and time into something, and you believe that this is the actual truth and this is real. Once you realize that, that gets snatched out from under you, your foundation, it feels like you're falling, and you can start to panic and you don't know what's happening. You don't know, you just start grabbing on whatever. But when you land on Ma'at, it's the most solid foundation, and you're completely secure in everything else that you do, and you can know that foundation can never be severed, because that is the actual truth that built this existence that we see and know today. That's what built it. So it's scary at first, but when you realize that you can fly, then the fear of falling no longer occurs. It doesn't occur anymore. And we all have that ability. He taught about the satut and the ability to be able to echo and come out the body and control your dreams. These are things that you may not know. I've spoken to people who, I say, hey, do you know that you can wake up in your dreams? They'd be like, no, I didn't even know that was possible. And that's really, that really goes to show how hypnotized we are, which, I showed last week how hypno means sleep. So if, and I always say, if you're not able, some people don't even realize that they're even dreaming every night because you don't remember. And, that's a deep subconscious teaching that has happened throughout the lifetime, to where we have to start to understand and know that this is a reality that happens. And so once you're able to become in control of that as Ahati said, you no longer continue to run. And when you realize, a lot of dreams you'll have where you're running, but then when you realize you turn around, you stop running and you face exactly what it is that you're running from, it starts running from you. And that's the reality that we have, because all of those outside of us, they understand who we are and what they're looking at. We have forgotten. But the moment that we realize who we are, they start running. And we don't have to run. So we stand firm in exactly who we are on the teachings of Ma'at, and taking this to the next level and building a physical nation of protection for the children that are coming up, for the next generations. So all of this that we're having to go through now, and all this reverse hypnosis and all this internal work that we're having to do, and all this healing that we're having to do, the next generation will not have to heal. They will already be healed. They will already know how to heal. That there's no need to heal when none of this is around us and occurring. So this is why this is so important, and why the great brother Ahati Maat deserves all the adoration in the world, all the hailing. Hail to you, Ahati Maat, for bringing forth these teachings and for being the leader of the movement that's going to allow the next generations to be comfortable in knowing that they are netters and neterts walking amongst the planet consciously. And that's a very, very, very powerful role. And it's something that every single one of you should appreciate from this great brother, because for years there was no he had to figure out this thing on his own. He had to go through the journey on his own and do what he needed to do to be able to play that position in that role, which none of us know what all that consists of. And we all each have that battle and that journey that we're going through to learn how to become who we're supposed to be. And there are those of us who are doing what's necessary to bring forth and come forth into the physical and show ourselves, and are eliminating that fear that comes along with it. So, of course, adoration to all the great people in the chat room, the viewers who appreciate this information, because we do live in the physical matrix. There are things that are necessary. So if you appreciate this, we appreciate your attention, but we also, if you appreciate it, send support. Our Cash App and our PayPal is being posted. Our moderator, Rebel Minded, he posts that throughout the chat. It's also in our description box. As you've seen, this was almost 2 hours of teaching, so, support that. So peace and love to everyone out there. I'm going to post the link. In the chat for the members, for the active members, and for the non-active members to come up on the panel.
Let me say something real quick, Scribe.
Yes, sir.
I want all active members, if you're in the chat, to come on the panel. There's no more hiding. If you're active, come up on the panel and let's support each other. No more hiding. Okay, I'm not speaking to non-active. I'm just speaking to the active. If you're in the chat from this day forth, come on the panel.
Yes, it's very essential that we are seen.
Can you see the active member right here? She fell asleep with the headphones.
She got the headphones on. That's right.
See?
That
we
is
do this
great.
for the kids. Y'all see this? She right on the couch.
That's absolutely she's probably in the dream world doing some magical things, going to sleep to these frequencies and these tones. She's that's absolutely beautiful. Yes, we see the active member Jada come on the screen all the time. she shows her support. She rides for the teachings of my eyes. So shout out to the great young goddess Jada. So yes.
She be
Go ahead,
trying to
brother.
stay up. She can't do it. She be trying. She be trying. Look at her. Look at her pillow. You see the
Ah,
pillow?
yeah. See,
She be
that's why we
trying.
do it. Mm-hmm.
That's great. Hey, what's up, man, Kara?
Man, cool. All right. Peace and love.
Oh,
Peace
tap
and
my
love,
eye. Peace,
fellas.
my brother.
Thank you so much, Ahati, for your teachings. Peace to y'all brothers for trying to break us out of this Stockholm syndrome. People are in love, man. They're in love with the enemy. They just, anyways, yeah. It's a pleasure. It's a blessing. Thank you, brothers, for your teachings. Good to be here tonight.
Yes, Hotep my eye. Peace, my brother.
Tua, brother, Tua.
Yeah, brother. I appreciate them utterances. I love that protection. I need that. You know, I gotta protect the family. If we're not doing it for the kids, what are we doing it for, guys? People out there in the chat. If we are not doing it for the kids, you know what? Ahati, we was talking earlier online about one of my brothers, and he said he what he told me. He said that I remind him of ODB from the Wu-Tang. He said for the kids, man. That's one of the things that he was telling me, that it's about the children, because he has children as well. So this is what it's about, guys. You know, we got to step up to the plate and be men and be real protectors of Ma'at, and defend this thing for our children, because it's up to us. If we don't do it, who's going to do it? We've left it in the hands of our oppressor, and this is what we have right now. We have them shooting an unarmed black man, running away from them, shoot at him 60 times and hit him 90. This is what we have. So who's going to protect us? Who's going to be our heroes if we don't be our own heroes? If we don't defend each other and defend Ma'at and defend the children, who's going to defend our children? My daughter fell asleep listening to you, Ahati, and she does it almost consistently all the time. Go ahead, brother.
Our children are angry. Our children are angry at us. They resent us for not protecting them. They shouldn't have to fend for themselves. And that's what's happening. And they're mad. And they're shooting. And they're killing themselves. There's a national crisis in teen suicide in America. And people don't talk about it. But I know this because I work with kids. I've been working with kids for 30 years. Our kids are angry. Like they're depressed. They're sad. Like that's why they got 30 clips with switches on it. Like the ones that's like the older ones, but the ones that don't even know that they're under attack, they're just getting slaughtered. Like they're prisoners in their schools. Like they have no place to go. Like if we don't protect them, they're just getting slaughtered. Our children are getting slaughtered.
But it's up to
us. You're right.
It's up to us.
It's up to us
because they're our children. So it's up to us to do what we need to do as men, as black men, quote unquote, as netters. It's up to us to step up to the plate and teach them who they are. But first, we have to learn who we are. First, we have to get knowledge of self. And it's very difficult to get that when all we're doing is arguing and tearing each other down and not building each other up. I had a very, speaking of magic, I had a very magical, very unexpected experience this last week. I was hailed and celebrated for almost 7 hours straight by a friend of mine from at least 25 years ago. And it was very unexpected, but it was very magical. And it's manifesting, guys, in real time as we speak. Those of you that know and can recognize that are on this frequency and you're able to see what we're building here and how it's being built on the foundation that is Ma'at, then you know that it's going to work. And this is why it's such a beautiful process and why it's such a beautiful experience, because the foundation is Ma'at. And we do have the best teacher on the on the on the internet. It's not even a debate. Shout out to you, Rebel Minded. Siddiqui, I see you coming in. It's not even a debate anymore. It's not even funny. It's actually sad, the fact that we can't stop arguing enough and stop debating with each other enough to recognize our own culture. Because once you remove all the foolishness, what are we going to build our nation on? What are we going to build our nation on? The argument? We have to build it on something. And the foundation is Ma'at. Teachings of Ma'at.org. Like, share, comment. We appreciate everyone's support. We appreciate your beautiful, beautiful teaching, Ahati. As always, I'm a slow learner, so I have to go back and man, I'll be you and scribes, teachers, I'll be going back and checking them out. I'll be digesting them because this is a beautiful time that we are in right now. Can we bring you in, Sadiq?
Siddiqui, we don't see your camera. Your screen is black. Oh, there you go.
Apologize, brother.
There you go, my
Apologize.
brother.
How you
Peace and
brother?
love to you, my brother. Peace, my brother.
Brother Ahati, that was a flamethrower right there. That was a flamethrower. You know that? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like now, like
It was a World War II flamethrower.
yeah, man. It was. Hey, whatever. Hey, I know it rocked me because I ain't never know fiend meant. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like that's an adversary, like somebody that's out to get you. You know what I'm saying? And so it makes you wonder, like, this is why, like, just think of a fiend actions. He always fiending for whatever vice it is, he's addicted to. And he always gotta have it. And it's the same way with the Tomahawks or the black Tomahawks. You know what I'm saying? The black devils. They had that fiend spirit. It's like they always gotta be in control. They always gotta have you playing a subordinate position. You see what I'm saying? They always gotta have you thinking a certain way. You see what I'm saying? You think that's the main reason why I came over here, because I want to get the essence of Ma'at. And Ma'at deals with changing your way of thinking. And that's what I'm real big on, changing my way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? That's why I appreciate this class. I appreciate Heidi breaking down, dropping them. Hey, that was fire what you dropped down today. You know what I'm saying? Definitely going to have me in the books tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because, I don't just end it once I get off here. I take what I done picked up on here and I go do further studies. That's why I keep notebooks by. You know what I'm saying? And these notebooks filled. That's why I keep them here. You know what I'm saying? Because
Those look like the notebooks when I would go to Saba's and learn from them personally. I would have the same notebook. But real quick, when you're talking about the fiends, yeah, we're shown on the block that the fiend is the crackhead. But the thing is, the true fiend is there to hurt you. The crackhead's only quote unquote trying to hurt you is because they're sick. Not sick, but they're in a position where they can't really hurt you unless you let them. So, for instance, when I'm begging you for 3 for 5 or 2 for 20 or 5 for 50 or whatever, I'm in a very weaker position. Whereas the CEO bank, the Bank of America CEO, he can order hits and get away with it. You see what I mean?
Ain't no doubt.
So I should be focusing on him more than on the guy that's trying to support me and my baby and my family, because deep in his heart, he's going to see Arcad one day, and you're going to find out this brother is a great supporter, he's got a great heart, and he's a great warrior, whereas Brian is working with the Rothschilds to keep us, subdued and to keep us in a weakened conscious state. And I'm just at a point now that the game's over. You know what I mean? There's a time and place to have fun and be happy. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that. I'm not saying that. But if I'm any type of leader, I can't be sitting up here all the time joking and laughing and giggling. And that's what they want. They don't want a hard thinker, and they don't want somebody that's willing to take risks. and I'm willing to take big risks. Scribe knows, Arcad knows, Menkara knows a little, and you will know soon because again, I told you when you first came on here, I have a vision for you because I don't see no hiding in you. But again, of course, I have to watch everything and make sure that this is. I'm not saying it's not you, brother, but I just have to watch for a while. And then I have a big vision for you, and we can do it. We can do anything, man. I don't care if you have $1 in your pocket or you have the whole world. You have Heka when you're born. So knowing that, we can do anything, and we will because when more heads come on and more minds are put together, the journey gets easier and easier and easier and easier. And then somebody pops up and they're a philanthropist. Somebody pops up and they're an architect. Somebody pops up and they have a machine shop. Somebody pops up and they have this. And we're seeing these opportunities because I'm not arguing with Arcad about his baby mama. I'm not arguing about Scribes that I know more than him because I spend more time with Saba. I'm not arguing with you because I spend more time in jail or prison. I'm not arguing with Menkara because I love children more than you. See the stupidness? Even if it's true. Here's how deep it gets with me. I can listen to you and hear that you're not correcting things and will never say a word to you. I will never tell you. Unless the moment is right, and it definitely won't be in public to embarrass you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh, most definitely. I'm on one accord with you. That's why, I sit and listen. All it is.
Where are these sisters at? Where is Ana Hafal, formerly known as Bella? We would love to have you on the panel. You don't have to speak much. Just we would love to just have you up on the panel with us. And of course, Angie Martinez, the Set Shait of the TOM, the secretary. This great brother Siddiqui.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on here every time. Show my face. The more I get used to being on here, the better I get at being. Anytime you constantly doing something, you know what I'm saying, you get better at it. If that's what you really want to do, if that's what you into doing. And see, this is where I put my time. I try to put most of my time. Of course, I got kids, I got a wife and other things, so other things come up, but I still try to find time, to make it here and do everything to the best of my abilities. You know what I'm saying? Like with the whole moderator, you gave me the game on that, so I'm trying to stay on top of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's all new to me. You know what I'm saying? But like I told you, I gave you my word. Whatever it takes for the team, I'm for it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no excuses. It's get to it. You gotta learn.
Yes, that is why you are the Kefa Ib Seka,
Oh yeah.
which means the loyal, devoted warrior.
Yeah.
And you are doing excellent with the moderation. You're doing perfect. So hail to you, my great brother.
I appreciate it, man. I just hope I, get better. Like you say, bring more people in, because it's a lot of us that we definitely need this truth, because we in a crisis right now. Like you take a look at what's going on around in the streets, it's just like we in a crisis, and this is what we need. We need healing. You know what I'm saying? We need somebody to go talk to the youngest and tell them it's okay to express your emotions. You ain't gotta always try to play the tough guy or put on a tough guy persona. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to speak. You know what I'm saying? I don't make you no coward. You know what I'm saying? If you say excuse me, it's just about having respect. You treat other people like you want to be treated. You don't want nobody, just doing you any kind of way. So it's like, you live your life according to, how you want people, to treat you. But like I say, it's vital. It's vital that we get in tune with this with what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a group of honest individuals. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear like brother Ahati said. You don't hear none of the the female ish. You know what I'm saying? The back and forthness. You know, a person can sit here and get his point across, and you got to worry about him steady cutting in and what trying to talk over him, and you know what I'm saying? Because like they say, you know, two people arguing from a distance, a wise man can't tell who is who. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, you learn more by just sitting and listening anyway. Because how could you be processing anything in if we both talking? You know what I'm saying? I thought it was steel sharp and steel. Now, how's we doing that? And we both sitting up here doing this. You know what I'm saying?
They love the argument. They love the isfet. They love the confusion and the chaos. That's
That's
what
right.
drives it, though. That's what feeds it, though. Remember, that's what I was saying. We're actually feeding the system. It's our energy that's feeding them. We pay the most costs, the most bail bondsmen, the most for medication and for all of that. It's us. We're feeding the system. Then when you look at us on those other chats, it's nothing but arguing. Even if it's knowledge being dropped, it's still the way it's being distributed. It's very hard to to digest because it's an argument and it's a tearing down. And that's the beautiful thing about my art, right? Once I realized what it was, it is a beautiful thing because it's the foundation, and that's what it's about. It's the respect that we have for each other. It's the respect that we have for you, rebel minded, and the respect that we have for each other.
Okay.
This is why you don't see that confusion going on. You're able to learn and digest, right? We had to turn the music down so they could learn, right? Not stop talking and stop cutting each other off. It was cut the music down. Hey, can y'all turn the music down a little bit? I'm trying to really tap into what Ahati is saying. You don't get none of that on the other channels. You don't get none of that. All you get is confusion and chaos. I personally can't do it no more. So, teachingsofmaat.org. If you want the real, and you know that the foundation is Ma'at, and we have the best teacher, Saba Tahuti Amen Hotep Ra, and we have the best architect out here, young scribe. Shout out to the best general, Ahati Maat. Shout out to you, Siddiqui. Shout out to you,
Shout out
Menku
to
Ra.
you.
Shout out to all the beautiful, beautiful subscribers in the chat. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And don't be scared. Come on up here and build with us. Come show your face.
And then another thing, like you say, it's time for brothers like the sisters, that be in the chat, get on here, like show your face. Why you really here? You know what I'm saying? Like you hide behind profiles, like because you never know who you bump into on here. You know what I'm saying? I learned about auto bots and all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you talking about BitChute?
I learned about all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh no, this ain't what it is, man. And then like when you learn about how these people control the content based on algorithms, and they control what content you gonna see in certain areas. And I'm like, wow. So when you in certain particular areas, like say you here, it's always, something derogatory, it's something negative, it's something, traumatic, it ain't that or something somebody showing, that showing that, behind. It ain't no teaching on there. There ain't nobody speaking the real, telling people that, you need to stop doing that. You need to leave that alone. You need to get in line with this right here. Ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? You can see a bunch of angry individuals. And that's one thing, being around Saba or watching Saba and watching, you know what I'm saying, watching y'all talk and just build, you know what I'm saying? It taught me a lot about humility. You know what I'm saying? Being able to just sit there and be quiet and just sit there and take in the information, even if it might be constructive criticism towards me. Because a lot of times people don't like when it's somebody talking about the imperfections that's going on with them. So imagine you got to sit there and you got somebody like a Hottie giving it to you, because you gonna give it to them in the raw, And then you been up on the Saba. So how I'm gonna cut into you as far as why I'm talking is gonna be a different language. You know, it's gonna be that oh we like damn, oh damn, yeah. But you gotta sit there and take it. That's why you gotta soldier up. That's why I take for real warriors, real people that's really gonna be about it to be on, you know what I'm saying, to be here to join it, not to be on the sideline coming over here on some COINTEL Pro stuff. One of I'm just being real, bro. You don't never know what people motive.
I know.
If
I already know.
You might think you're just doing something positive, but I can show you, I can list incidents where people thought they was doing was right since they was asking the government or asking the local government to, you know, resolve this issue, and they say, okay, well, since y'all want to neglect it, then we'll take it in our own hands. And then the government comes and try to prevent them from taking matters in their own hand. And it's like, well, dang, it's damn if I do, damn if I don't.
Right. So that's why we need to create our own thing, because it's just a game. It's just a confusion game. It's just not worth it. In the long run, in my opinion, risk your life. What are you afraid of? Especially if you're into the meta netter and you understand it a little, and you know that this isn't it for us. That it's like the dream world. The dream world is unlimited. We're limited here in the physical body. There's only certain things you can do in this body because the body only retains a certain amount of energy throughout the day. When you go to sleep, you can do anything. Which realm is better? But see, the Matrix is saying, "Oh no, this is it." Even if we see this, the powerful thing about these people are they can access us 24/7, where me and you can only access them 2 hours a week.
Yep,
and when I mean access, I mean they're accessing their mates, their children, their grandma, the food box. They are. I never say to Tomahawks is stupid. Like some brothers say, "Oh, they ain't nothing." But if they're nothing, why hasn't the tables turned? If they're nothing, if they're nothing, throw your computer in the garbage.
You know, it's crazy that you say that, right? That you say that the Tomahawk is always like on his job 24 hours a day. I remember we was in the Bay, we was watching that Unsung or Ice-T, and I didn't know, like, in a lot of Ice-T music, like he was putting, you know, more social commentary in there, right? And then it showed like a cover they had, and the symbolism in the cover was so dope because it showed the little Tomahawk sitting down with he had some headphones on, and it showed all the stuff that was coming out of the TV. And it was showing, like, you know what I'm saying, the NWAs, it was showing the Compton streets, and it was just showing different things. And it was saying basically what I got out of this was how the inner city community was reaching the minds of the youth through the music. You know what I'm saying? So you started off with people just partying, and then you went to the Rock Kims and the Big Daddy Kanes, and then you had and then it went left field.
Yeah, because you know why we don't protect what we have. That's the problem. I guarantee it. I know it. We don't fight to the death. Again, I'm not afraid to say it. They could come. Listen, you think these people aren't watching you even when you're not doing anything right? You're doing everything right? You don't think they shut down businesses these past couple of years and people that are doing right for 40, 50, their whole entire lives? You think they don't? Listen, I'm telling you, the Tomahawk fights to the death. Even if the Tomahawk hates the Tomahawk will get together and fight to the death for that Tomahawk to accomplish a greater goal. Blacks don't do that. Blacks are very sensitive. If I say something you don't like, CDD, I'm not saying you personally, I'm just using you as an example. If I say something you don't like, you're not coming ever back. You won't come on the show again because I said something about you. And it's Tom who loves that because he doesn't have to do the physical, and the rest of the world is watching. It doesn't have to judge him on that and take him to war. That's the only thing. Because think about it. At any moment, even today, they can still take out all of us. But even back in the slave times, they could just kill everybody. And what is anybody going to do about it? And we walk around here like we are something that we aren't. You are his children, even me, and this hurts. even me, I am the Tamahu's children at the end of the day. I'm using his computer. I'm using his technology. I'm in a structure that he built. Do you understand what I'm saying? How serious this is and deep? This is not a joke. So to me, that's not life. The life is what our ancestors had. That's life. That's life. And all the music stuff. Here's another thing, and then we got to wrap this up. But there's no other brother, or there's no other men on the planet that look up to their entertainers as leaders.
Facts.
There's no other men. I don't care if they're the Chinese man, the German man, whatever. They don't look up to their sports figures. You don't hear about them in history either. You don't hear about the entertainers or sports figures in all the history. You only hear about the battles, the wars, and the so-called They are politics. We didn't have politics originally, but we'll just use it so people know. So what we're building here will be remembered in history. They're not going to remember even a Jay-Z because that's not monumental. That's built in his system. And people don't realize that. They don't realize that. That is, the entertainers cannot lead you because they're still connected to that money mindset. I'm not, man. I've been homeless more than I've been in a home. Does that make sense to you? I know what it feels like to sleep on cold concrete. I know what it feels like to sleep around drug addicts. I know what it feels like, and I'm not afraid of going back to that. Who else can say that? And I'm not advocating that. I'm just using that as a serious example. So you want me to look up even a Karis One, and I respect the brother. I played his music. That's how much I respect him. But I would not consider him a leader. Even though he has a temple of hip-hop, and I enjoy watching that, he has Tamahus in this movement. He's still preaching from a biblical type mindset. They're saying hallelujah and praise. He's not a leader. A leader is a brother that is going to give his life for the ideal or the energy of in our case, Ma'at. That's how it works. Unfortunately, that's how it works. And you know what, brother? When it gets really real, it gets really uncomfortable. So I'd rather have, let's say, you that can get really uncomfortable with me than the brother that's sitting here and he's all telling me what I want to hear and he's got the 100,000 views or whatever. And then when the real comes real, bursting through your home, and you're pooping. You ever seen SWAT? You ever experienced a SWAT raid? You poop your pants. That's a real man talking. Anyways, I just leave it there.
Yeah. So before we close out, I want to show support. Join the teachingsofmaat.org. Go there. I do want to show something briefly before we close out, and I'll show the support as well. So teachingsofmaat.org, this is the home website. This is where all the information is. There's a small echo coming from someone. Let me see. All right, so yeah, thank you, Ahati. So yes, the teachingsofmaat.org. This is where you come to find all the information on how to become a member, non-active member, active member, to help us continue to build what we're doing and further these conversations offline. All right, so you can of course grab the Tahuti affirmation. This is definitely recommended to say as you rise with Ra every morning to set the frequency for your day. But I really want to show you all this right here, our Discord community. This is what we're working and growing on now with the moment. For everyone here, all the members, all the viewers that are watching, all the people in the chat, all the viewers after the live stream, join our Discord community, and we all are there having conversation outside of here. We can also have video meetings and classes. Uh-oh, the echo's back. I hear the echo.
Oh, no, Scribe, real quick, can you tell us how to actually join it? Because I know some people are having problems.
All you do is just click this image. You just click it, and it'll take you to Discord, and then you just sign up. So all you have to do is just click here to join. That's all you got to do. and just sign up. So it's very simple. Yeah, so it's it's an app on your phone you can download as well. It's also an app on the computer if you rather just use your computer, your PC. So once you click this link, it'll take you to the Discord, and I'll show you. So this is the Discord here. So as you see, we are in here. We have the communication outside of here. We posting what we're doing. We have for the members, you'll have the membership only section. So this is where we communicate ideas and things of that nature. This is where we can have our meetings, our audio meetings as well. You don't have to be on camera because we know who's who in here. So we can speak. Research purposes, when doing our research outside of here, if you find something interesting or you find something that you want to present to the teachings of Ma'at, you can post it here in the research section. So it's a lot going on here. All right, and it's absolutely beautiful for us to continue and build the community. So I recommend everyone to join. So just go to the teachings of Ma'at and hit that picture. So all you have to do is hit the picture. And now I'll show, of course, the great brother Siddiqui gave $40 to Ahati Maat for being a consistent, committed warrior for Saba, the movement, and Ma'at. Tua, my brother.
No, Tua, brother. Tua to you. And I know you're a great warrior, too. And I look forward to your growth, my brother. Tua.
All right. And then I'll show, of course, I would love for this sister to eventually come to the screen. We would love to meet you. Angela Gates, she sends another 15 for love and peace. So thank you, Angela Gates. You are a great supporter, and we definitely appreciate what you have to offer. So we would definitely love for you to join the panel at one of our shows, and we would love to meet you. All right, so that's the support that we have. If you all appreciate the information, send some support. As you can see, the conversation can get really real really fast, and this continues. This isn't just here. So we are building, and if you want to help and support what we're doing, send support. And definitely appreciate every single person who gives their attention and gives their energy to the teachings of Ma'at, because what we bring forth, it takes a lot of time, a lot of focus, a lot of attention, a lot of energy, a lot of dedication, and a lot of consistency to bring this forth to you all every single week at the level that we do it. So it's definitely good to see it being reciprocated. So peace and love to all the great members. And before we close out, we'll let everyone give some closing words. Go ahead, great brother Arcad, take it away.
I'll close it out. I'll let you brothers close out. I'll close out at the end and say the affirmation. Ahati, if you want to close out, brother.
Yeah, I just want to say, Scribe, for some reason it's not letting me join the Discord. I don't know why, but we can talk after. Yeah, that's great. I love the Discord. That's a great way to get off Facebook and all of that. Yeah, I had a fun night tonight, and I hope everybody got a lot out of it as much as I did. We literally live this over here. We live the teachings of Ma'at. We just don't speak them. And it does. It totally revolutionizes your way of life and your connection with your own people. And I just hope everybody can take advantage of what we were given in this physical realm, so that we'll be prepared when we leave it. And I'll leave you with that. Tua.
So, bro, peace and love, bro. Peace.
Hotep Sadiq, my brother.
What's up, bro? I ain't really got much to say, but I just feel like, now is the time. If it ain't now, then it's never. You know what I'm saying? It's like I echo like what I said earlier. We in the crisis. You know what I'm saying? It's been a war that's been waged on us on all fronts, and this a war that's been perpetuating for years. And it's like it's starting to seem like our soldiers is like self-destructing. They out there killing each other. And like Ahati spoke on the enemy, like he just sitting back now. He ain't even gotta worry about it. Cause you gonna kill yourself. You know what I'm saying? You call your own brother op, you knock him off, you get bumped off for the murder he did. Now you locked up for the rest of your life. That's a 2-for-1 lick. So now who really winning?
Then your kids out there with no guidance.
And then as soon as you get in there and you get behind them four walls and you realize ain't no just going up there for a couple $100 and your man come grab you and your girl come grab you. Nah, you ain't going nowhere. You finna sit. Now you thinking of what do I know? You know what I'm saying? Now you want to put other people in the mix because you done got in the gigolo squeeze. You know what I'm saying? That's when things get real. See, when that reality hit them, you know what I'm saying? I was taught that the reality is something that serves as a reminder that corrects a misconception. And it's a lot of us out here that got misconceptions about life. You know what I'm saying? We only got one of them, especially in here. But I'm gonna just leave it at that, bro, because I could just go on and on, just ranting. I'm just ready, man, to just I get active in any way I can. I'm ready. I'm ready to grow. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing my best. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad, I got some good brothers that inspire me to want to keep going, to want to keep doing this. You know what I'm saying? I try to do what I can just to support the movement or whatever, just to show and prove that, I'm really about what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a gimmick with me. I would have never signed up for it. I'd have just kept it moving. Or I'd have been like one of them people on the sideline, sneak thieving.
We appreciate your energy, brother.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Minku Ara, you got any words you want to close with, my brother, before we end it off? We appreciate all your support.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for you brothers. I'm glad we've made it this far. May it be we're chosen, lucky, or however we got here. So much appreciation. And there's a lot of people trapped, stuck. A lot of people didn't make it to where we're at. So it's amazing to be able to build and try and help those that need the help that we can give them. So peace to you warriors for staying in the battle. Peace to you brothers for your vision, your courage, and your love. And I really encourage people as well to come to the Meta Netter Monday. If you really want to go far in this journey, it helps to do all of the things that are becoming available with the Friday pod class, the Meta Netter Monday, and of course, this book study and this platform. Take it all in. You need it all. Everything that you can do to fight the Stockholm Syndrome, to break the matrix, you need to do that. So peace and blessing, and thank you brothers for all that you do.
Ahati Maat. With that, we're gonna close it out. Beautiful words and beautiful energy from all you brothers on the panel, and for all you beautiful brothers and sisters in the chat. We appreciate your continued support every week.
Did the scribe say something?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Good, brother. Scribe went first. So with that, we're going to close it out. Thank you for another beautiful, beautiful class, another beautiful teaching. Had to clear my throat. But thank you for all your beautiful support, beautiful energy. Siddiqui, we need that energy, brother. And if you pay attention real close, you'll see what kind of warriors that the Netter has summoned. Peace and love. Can't beat nature. We're going to close it out with our beautiful affirmation. Hotep Ma'at. From today's teachings by the wonderful, powerful General Ahati Maat, Sekmu Heru Aset Esfeta, powers fortifying his station against wicked devils. We're going to close with our affirmation. Unki Ma'at, Un NS, Nintet Aset Ma'at, Menhepapet Ma'at, Her Enhuqui Per Ikut. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Peace and love, Hotep Ma'at.
But I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it.